the release date party today. The game has officially released in Japan now, which I think is kind of BS. First of all, well, they get it like a day and a half earlier than us.
You do realize
I'm
that
like, okay,
we
bigger.
that we would normally wait till like April next
Yeah,
year.
right. Yeah, it's like we got it much earlier than usual, but still, I'm like, come on, can we not just get like the same day? What's the purpose of Japan getting it early?
Simultaneous
I really
release,
want to
they
know
said.
why. Yeah, but I mean, it's whatever, it's fine. But I'm already seeing spoilers from the Japanese people. I'm like, yo, what?
Dude, I've been trying to intentionally just not go to Twitter because I've already seen a couple
Yeah.
screenshots. I'm just like, no thanks.
Oh, really? Oh, man. Actually, I'm not worried about it. I already finished the game. But either way, I will still be pissed if I see spoilers just out there, because I'm like, that's not fair. You know, people are like waiting for the game. You know.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel bad about it. I'm like, that's just not cool at all.
Yeah. I mean, I haven't played it yet. I wasn't lucky enough. I was chosen by Papa Atlas, you know. But it's all good. That just means when I stream, I get to have like a fresh view, I guess, right?
Yeah. That was my worry with the game, because I was like, oh, I got the released the review copy, but I'm like, but I'm still gonna stream the game, so I'm gonna end up having to like stream the game right after I finish it.
There's still DLC for you to try out too, as well, which looks super dope.
Hey, thank you so much, Demicro, for that. He signed up back again as a member. 7 months now. Right on.
Damn,
He says,
nice.
I was scrolling and saw the final boss. Well, Demicro, you'll be happy to know that the final boss is not the same for all endings. So you're fine, actually. You saw one of the final bosses. So don't worry. It's okay. So if that makes you feel better, hope he does. David, are you done with the game? You close?
I'm like, well, I'm doing everything. So I'm doing like all the subquests, and I'm talking to every NPC, all that stuff. I've been waiting for so many years that I want to do everything.
Dude,
So
yeah.
I'm like 50. Let me check. I'm playing right now, actually. 53 hours in.
Oh, nice. You're pretty close. You're pretty close.
Yeah.
Was your
just
how long was
depends
the
on
view, Kira? How long did it take you to beat it?
It took me 55 hours. Yeah. So not, but I then went back and did other endings. So if you do all the content in the game, you're probably gonna get about 100 hours worth of content. Going back, doing the other choices, getting all the other endings and everything. So, you can really speed run the game in like 4 or 5 hours if you straight up just go through the story at level 99. Like you have nothing else going on in that. So, but no worries, guys. We mentioned no spoilers, so no worries. We're not gonna really spoil the game or anything like that. Says, what are we looking at the frame rate wise? Well, I'll play the game before the update. There's an update now, apparently.
Really?
So my gameplay wise frame rate was pretty crap. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. It was dropping frames. So
did you play it only handheld or
no? I never play handheld.
Oh, so handheld it was probably even worse.
I don't play handheld. So I play the game maybe 90% on dock. There was one time when I played because I took it to work. By the way, it's a terrible idea. Don't do it. You're gonna get fired. But yeah, I was just like, I was trying to fight a boss, and I was like, I need to play this game. I was so addicted.
Sure, that wouldn't give you a raise instead.
Yeah, you're gonna give me a raise. Yeah, why don't you play Shin Megami Tensei 5 at work?
He's like, this man has taste, bro. This man's got taste. All right.
Yeah, I was like, I'm like trying to sneak into the bathroom so I can play for 10 minutes. I'm like, I need to play this game. Yeah, no, it's extremely addicting. So I'm sorry everybody that has been spoiled for the game. But there's just so many stuff about the game. It's just really impossible to spoil the entire game. Well, like it's just it's an experience. It really is. So
Mhm.
uh, you can tell I'm happy with what I got. But I don't know. I been waiting for this game for a minute, so I don't even know like where to begin with this massive podcast here. Because to me,
This,
it's been a wait since SMT4. Like I like so like I'm pretty sure it's the same for David, right?
Yeah, absolutely. That's the thing. Like we always say, we've been waiting since January of 2017, but we've been waiting since the launch of Apocalypse, which was before that.
Yeah,
So
right.
it's been a while. And even if you think about it, it's like I've been thinking about a mainline SMT game in HD since the PS3 days, since Persona 5.
Right.
So
Yeah.
yeah, it was long overdue.
Yeah. Of course, I think I agree with you because like you do have the entire time that I was playing SMT5, I was like, man, what if SMT4 was like this? Like the graphics wise and everything. And at some point, I was like, it will just translate so well because a lot of the stuff works very similar to from one game to the other game. So I was just kind of like, I really would like to see how can they put an HD remaster for SMT4. That's one of my
I'd love
dreams, like
that.
an SMT4 HD remaster for like Switch or something.
And they like
Um,
bundle Apocalypse in there with it. I think that'd be really smart on their part, honestly.
yeah,
Especially if like SMT5's on the Switch, and SMT3. You got three huge SMT titles on the
yeah,
Switch or anywhere else.
Well, looking at the sales of Nocturne, the remaster, it's certain that there's going to be something else. Like there's going to do something else. 4 Apocalypse, as much as I'd like that, they would require way more work than, let's say, the Raido games or Digital
yeah,
Devil Saga,
Yeah.
which they are my personal picks for the next in line. I think they're going to do their remasters for them as well. Same engine, they reuse most of the models. There's no voice acting that they have to do, so they make the most sense in my opinion. But 4 Apocalypse, I'm just gonna reuse your words. Yeah, they're a dream come true. They would be at least.
yeah, it definitely will be. But realistically speaking, it's just so much easier to dump another game that already uses the same engine
Exactly.
and just kind of so like yeah. I mean, like, it just makes sense. Especially from like a logistics point of view, like how long it's gonna take us to actually make it and everything. So it just makes sense. But honestly, I'm just like eager to see if I can get SMT4 at some point. I'm like, oh, it'll be amazing because it's although it doesn't SMT5 doesn't run like particularly stellar on Switch or whatever. It's still like a really good experience. Like you were saying, it's the first really like true HD game that you get on console slash handheld or whatever. So
Yeah.
it's just a great play. It's pretty good. Shout out to Kugan. How are you doing, man? He's asking David, how are you doing?
Hey, what's up, Coogan?
Do you guys think well, I gotta ask, like, what parts are you losing frames? Like, are you losing them in battle or like overworld?
Well, I'm not as much of a performance guy as Kuro, as we talked about that before previously. Like we've been talking for years at this point, and I know you notice that
Right.
stuff. You notice that stuff way more than I do, and it's perfectly fine for the most part. In battle, it was some really rare occasions where I had frame drops in battles. Late game spells, they use some big animations. Again, not spoiling anything. Certain ones I could see the frame drops. They were minor to me, at least. Exploring the world, I had almost no frame drops, except certain specific areas for whatever reason. There's an area where you are at like 30 hours. I don't know if you can back me up there, Kiro, but for me, that was the worst part. Like I again, I'm bad at noticing frame drops, and in that area, I was like,
Yeah.
oof, that's rough. We're talking Nocturne HD level frame rate in that area. But for the rest of the game, I had
Jeez.
almost no issues. Maybe some minor drops, but again, to me, they were like extremely minor, so I didn't even notice them. I can see
Yeah,
him being
absolutely.
a problem to others though, because I know I'm not a great example because I I don't notice them all the time.
Yeah, unless you're really looking for it, you don't really like. It's like it's not really like it's unlocked FPS. So whenever any game has like unlocked frame rate, you're gonna see more dips and everything,
Mhm.
Yeah.
transitions in between one place to another place. That's when you really see the frame drops like just drop really bad because it's going from one area to another area. Like when you like teleport, I guess, or like when you go through like another complete new area or something like that, you kind of see that transition looking pretty jarring. But it's not. It's I mentioned this in a tweet. It's not gonna be to the point where it's gonna game break or anything like that. I know we're talking about like the negative of like the frame rate or whatever, but it really doesn't diminish your experience. It's 100% payable. Like it's never gonna break in the middle of like a fight or anything like that. So nothing of that nature. It's more like when you see it, you will see it. But it's not like it's
Yeah.
never gonna bother your experience or
I
anything
mean,
like
unless
that.
you're straight up looking
Uh,
for it, you probably won't find it. But someone in my chat said the day one patch nerves the visuals outside a bit of battle and improves the performance. So
I, I
the day
don't
one
know. I
patch might
heard
be.
that, but I haven't actually seen the patch yet. Uh,
Hmm.
so I really don't know what that patch looks like. So
Well, for that patch in particular, since I'm still playing, I can talk about it. I've seen some people on Reddit saying that they've noticed like big improvements with the resolution and frame rate and all that stuff. I'm gonna call BS on that. To be honest, I didn't notice anything,
yeah,
whether it's TV mode or handheld. In both occasions, it's running in the exact same way. I did reach out to someone at Atlas, and they confirmed that it was minor bug fixes and corrections in certain dialogues, like mistakes.
okay,
That's all
okay.
they
So
did.
that's just
That's
like
good
just
at
minor
least.
performance things.
Yep,
Yes, well, that's
exactly.
pretty much about what I expected. Honestly, uh, being the Switch, let's be frank here, it's not really. You're never gonna get that like bump on like graphic fidelity or anything like that. It's at the end of the day still a Switch game, so
Hmm.
it's gonna look like a Switch game. Like that's never gonna like change a lot or anything like that. Just being frank there, an update is really not gonna change much of that. Uh,
It's already a very impressive game for the hardware that it's on. Like
yeah,
it's a
Yeah.
game
yeah.
that you can put next to a PS4 game and it looks good and it runs fine, but the system has like some very shitty specs as you mentioned, and it still runs that way, which is impressive. In my opinion, it's a handheld system at the end of the day. And I think the optimization that they did on an engine that kind of struggles on the system is really impressive.
That's
It's
good. At least they
impressive.
did a
And
good
at
job for
times,
it.
it's almost like breathtaking. Like you just, like you're just looking and everything, and you go, "Damn, this game looks good." Like it's just like a
Mhm.
random times where you just see like the sunset, or like you just see like the backdrops and everything like that. It's fantastic. It looks really good for the kind of game that it is. Honestly, this made me excited to see what other games they're gonna pop out, because if you look at it from a development perspective, every cycle when they release a new game, they release several games on that same engine. Like when they did, we were talking earlier with Nocturne. Not only did they do Nocturne, but they did Rido. They did uh, the the I'm sorry, what was the Devil, the DDS games?
Yeah.
Forgot the name of it. Uh, yeah, so they did it on the same engine, and then when they did SMT4, they did SMT4 Apocalypse and some other games on that same kind of style engine and everything. So it's much easier now that they have the assets to do more stuff. So in my mind, I'm like, man, what else are they gonna do? Are we gonna get some other, you know, like a spin-off game or something like that? So I'll be
I
curious to
hope.
see if they end up doing something.
I'd like to see
Because
them try doing some
there's
new SMT spin-offs.
Yeah, yeah. I'm ready to see like if they can just create like do something new with it. Just how they did Persona back in the day, or they did some of the many other spin-offs that they have done. I'm curious to see if they can just come up with a brand new idea for a brand new spin-off. I'll embrace
Yeah.
that probably more than if we just got another one of those.
To be fair, they also could remake stuff with this engine too and make it look just as good. It's like I know most of the dancing games sort of just like P5's engine almost or something close to that. So I mean they
They
have the
could
capability of doing that.
That's something that a lot of people are bringing up to just remake certain games using this engine, but that's like almost as hard as creating a brand new game. So they have the story and everything, but they
Yeah,
still have to
Yeah.
redo. Let's say you take Soul Hackers, for example, which obviously that's not the first one that they would do for a lot of reasons, but whatever. They'd have to like redo all the models and all that stuff. Except if they use like for the demons, maybe they could reuse all the ones that are in this game, but there's still a bunch that they would have that they would had to had in the game. So I don't know. It's interesting to think about, to say the least.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
It'd be a
definitely.
good starting place.
I don't know. I think the issue with doing a remake is that you're bound to get some people mad. But when it comes to like a brand new game, it's a brand new game. You know, nobody's gonna like. Sure, probably some people are gonna complain, but
Mhm.
like nobody has any point of reference to compare for something like that. So like, I'd rather they just do a brand new game instead of doing something like with Strange Journey,
Redux, yeah.
Redux, or with Apocalypse,
Yeah.
like where you get you already have a point of reference where people just kind of get mad about it because it's not like the first one or whatever. So to avoid any kind of conflict, it literally just easy just to make a new game altogether.
Yeah. Which I
Demicro says that he would like to see an action game, not Ridos, but another action game. I think I'll be okay with that. I like the idea of somebody mentioned doing like the strikers type, but maybe in a different gameplay style. I think I'll be okay with that. I don't know.
Mm.
uh, Rising
Mm.
disagrees with that. He's like,
I don't
I
like
mean,
strikers too much.
yeah, I mean, Strikers I really liked when it came out and when I beat it at first, but looking back on it, I'm like, man, that was unmemorable. And I don't feel like
Yeah.
replaying it anytime
this
soon.
Locations were
story was very
cool.
unmemorable too.
Locations were
Like,
cool in the game, I thought, and bosses were cool, but like gameplay and story is just like, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Plus, I'm kind of my taste is really small with action RPGs. Like I have a strong preference for turn-based RPGs. Tales of Arise is a recent one that I really enjoyed, but it's an exception. Most of the action when you reveal an action RPG, that's a negative in my book. You start with a strike. Basically, that's how
Yeah.
much I prefer turn-based, especially with the amazing press turn system. I'm like, dude, nah, just keep it rolling with that. That's
yeah,
good.
yeah. Although they do come up with some interesting ideas, like they did the with the Devil's Survivor games, where it's kind of turn based,
Yeah,
but it's also with like that strategic RPG type.
yeah.
So they
Devil Survivor
combine
is
both of
amazing.
them together. That
Hmm.
was such
The
an ingenious uh game design. Like I actually really like the gameplay style for those games because it's press turn, but it also has
Another element.
the other element to it that makes it like pretty unique to that series. So I'll be open if they did another one like that. Although I'm
FF
not really strategic
the
RPG type because I'm pretty fucking bad at them. Like I can do turn based, but I am not able to do tactical RPGs. I am pretty shit at them.
yeah, there's a little too much with those. The Final Fantasy VII Remake
That's
has
a
a
good
similar
example.
style. I love that style.
Yeah,
Slows time down, has the turn-based aspects, but like
yeah.
if you want to do some
That's
hacky slashy stuff, you can.
mhm. That's one of the great recent action RPG combat system that I enjoyed. That one and Tales of Arise
Yeah,
recently.
I think it's a really good way to get you can get like almost any audience almost involved with that, which I think is a good idea. It kind of goes to any player, and I think Final Fantasy VII also has like other modes where you can have it more turn-based than others, which not every publisher needs to do that with every single one of their games because that'd be kind of crazy to like develop two different modes or whatever. But it is nice if you're trying to like bridge something over, especially like Final Fantasy VII. Like it was already turn-based at one point, so the remake, it probably should have elements of that in there, which is fun. Um,
Yeah, I don't know. I'm sure they can come up with some stuff. They seem to be able to come up with some pretty ingenious ideas for games. Although I personally just prefer like if it was just straight up turn based. I'm okay if they just keep it turn based. But they can come up with some pretty cool stuff. So I want to see what they can do with like the now that they did SMT5 and like the graphics and using Unreal Engine and everything like that, and it looks like they're also trying to do the same for Persona. With like they got some people, they hired some people for the Unreal Engine too for Persona. So I'm like, I really want to see what they're gonna do because Unreal Engine means that they can easily port these games over to PC, and I'm gonna like chill a little bit on my own video, but I really want to see if they can make these games more accessible for like other systems like PC.
I'd
Uh,
love for it to be on PC, bro.
I think
That would be great.
PC is the only other platform that has a shot of getting the game. And that's just pure speculation because we don't know what's Nintendo's involvement in the game, so it's hard to say.
yeah.
But since they have, even if we don't know, they are involved in some way, shape, or form, and just that is enough for it not to be on PlayStation, in my opinion. But PC, I think it's kind of like a Monster Hunter Rise situation where we are going to see it on PC in like a year and a half, something like that. Again, just speculating here.
Yeah, I mean, I think most companies, I mean, hopefully they're smart enough nowadays to know not to do exclusive forever. Because I think a lot of, especially like JRPG companies, I just brought up, I'm gonna bring up Final Fantasy again, but it's like they only did a year contract or whatever, which I think is a good play. Doing it for too long or forever, I think is a little like missing out on opportunities. I feel like to give it to other people.
They did extend it for FF7. You were talking about FF7 Remake?
Yeah.
Yeah, they did with Integrate. They pushed temporary exclusivity with Sony. They pushed it.
Wow. Okay.
And that's why it's not on PC or Game Pass yet.
Yeah, it was supposed to be. I think. Yeah,
it was supposed to be a year. Yeah, you're correct.
Like
that was a
summer,
year,
I think.
But they pushed it. Yeah, exactly. It released in March of 2020. So I don't remember what was the delay exactly, but it was around a year or something like that. So
that's crazy. I know Final Fantasy 16 is also exclusive.
Yep.
I don't think we know how long either, but interesting. It's strange. I'm not
probably going to be a similar scenario, I would think, like in a year after or maybe longer if they decide to push it. It's going to go to Game Pass and PC.
That would be really cool. I'd like to see that. Speaking about delays, my SMT5 still has not been shipped to me, and it comes out in like 2 days or whatever.
Yeah, both of my copies either. But in Canada, they were all pushed. Like most retailers, they pushed it to the 16th.
Wow, that's crazy.
Because I have one collector's edition for myself, and I have one for my giveaway winner. And mine is from VGP. I reached out to them on Twitter. They said it's gonna ship on the 16th. And
that sucks.
For the one on the one for my giveaway winner is at a local retro game store that I pre-ordered it at. They also sell new games, and they told me it's gonna arrive around the 16th as well.
Interesting.
My Amazon. We were just talking about it before we started the podcast, but for me, Amazon still hasn't shipped. And I know there is no in my state there is no warehouse or anything like that because there's nothing that I ever order from Prime ever comes in one day. You know, the Prime's supposed to be like the one day delivery. Mm-hmm. It always takes 2 to 3 days. For like I know for sure mine's not coming on Friday. Like they haven't shipped today, and just today the podcast today's Wednesday the 10th. There's no way that if they ship tomorrow, it's not gonna arrive on the 12th. I just 100%. Like at this point, it's not gonna arrive.
It's the same thing in Canada. It used to work with 1 day delivery before COVID, but with COVID, it's instantaneous. You never get your package on the same day anymore. It's always pushed, always.
Yeah, everything's so delayed. And I think like in California, there's a bunch of shipment containers that are just sitting there. I'm like, what if someone's game is in those containers and they're just not getting it for like who knows how long? I know they don't have enough people to give jobs out, I guess, on the coast. So like anything shipping from overseas, like in that direction, which would be like Japan and stuff, you know, they're just not getting over here hardly, which is kind of crazy to think about. But I don't know necessarily that's what's happening with SMT5 though. I don't think so, or I don't know, but that sucks. What editions did you guys say you got? I only have the Steelbook. I didn't have enough money to drop on the collectors, but
yeah,
I only have the Steelbook coming in.
Well, I got the that Fall of Man. That's a collector's edition. That's
Yep.
I think that's the one that he got too, right?
Hmm.
David, didn't you have the Japanese collector's edition too? Did you cancel that one?
Yeah, I did. I'm broke. I had to cancel it. The
Yeah,
main
yeah.
reason was I won the Steam Deck in December. I wasn't part of the first batch, so I was like, I need that $500. But it was pushed today to like February. So if I knew that, I would have been
Right.
okay. But it happens.
I wonder if that has to do
Yeah.
with the
I was kind of like,
microchip shortage or whatever. It's gotta be, right?
that's the
For
reason.
this,
Yeah, that's what it
for
said.
the Steam Deck, the microchips or whatever.
Yeah.
It's like a big
Probably.
shortage in them. Same thing with like the PS5 getting pushed. Or, like not restocking. They just they flat out can't make them. It's crazy, dude.
Yeah. It's crazy. Like and we talk about video games, but there are legitimately uh full jobs of people that are they just don't have nothing to do. Like I know I have friends that work on the auto industry, for example, and they have like entire shipments of cars that are waiting on the chip on the same kind of chips, and they cannot ship the cars because they're missing the
Same,
chip.
same thing
Like
here.
they
My
Yeah.
dad's a
like
mechanic.
they
Yeah,
have
he's waiting on a bunch
entire
too.
they have entire cars built. They're just missing chips, and they can't sell them because obviously it's missing the chip. So it really sucks. Like for us, obviously, it's like entertainment. It's electronics and stuff. But people that cannot do their job because of it is crazy. Like it's just ridiculous. Um, I hope they resolve this soon because it will resolve into people losing their jobs and stuff. If you're already not a thing, so uh, yeah, it's pretty unfortunate actually.
Hmm.
But back to the Shin Megami Tensei 5 hype. So we're not in the unfortunate circumstances right now. Did you guys think this game was gonna delay? I know David wasn't because he was the 2021 boy for the entire race. Um,
Nah,
Spoiler alert, he won.
I backed David up. I don't know if you remember the tweet, but like you guys were talking about like doing diss tracks, like you and King back and
Yeah.
forth. I'm on David's team. Like I'll get the backing track and stuff ready for him. Like let's go. I thought it was gonna release this year. I believed that. I don't know.
Yeah, I was thinking that if it was a delay, the closer we got to like the dates what they were gonna announce, I was like, no, they have to have say something by this point because it's so close to like the end of the year. That's what I was thinking. I was like, there's just no way they're gonna delay it now.
I felt like because it had been so long and they hadn't said like anything about it for so long, I'm like, they have to have something done in this. Like this game has to be pretty well along. Like a lot of JRPG makers, like they'll say something, it'll be a couple of years, they'll say something again, and then it'll get like a couple months, and then it'll come out or whatever. It's like they had already said something about SMT5 like a year or two ago or whatever, so it's like they should be done. I'd imagine by now. That's why I felt like it would be done.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
like
they
with
jumped the
Square
gun.
Enix, they
Yeah,
literally announced the game and it comes out after a few months. Um, except for Final Fantasy 15 and 7 and 3. I Kingdom Hearts 3.
bro. Look at Square. Oh my god, Square.
Yes, like, what are you doing? But it's whatever. It's okay. Um, so do you have any expectations for SMT5? I get we get your raw feelings on this because I guess you like everybody here is kind of waiting for this. So do you have any kind of expectations for the game or like anything that you're kind of like, oh, I think this is gonna be the case?
For me, or
Yeah, for you, yeah, because
yeah, I'm the one who
we
hasn't
already
played
played the
it.
game, so yeah, you're the only one that hasn't played it. Yeah.
How'd you guys get lucky? What'd you do? I don't get it. I'm so bad socially. I think that's why they didn't pick me. But it's alright, I get it. I don't know. I'm just awkward. This can be. I don't know, man. I think I expected, and from what you told me, Kira, I think it kind of already is. You told me if I liked SMT3, I'd love this, which I absolutely adore SMT3. I started playing P4, then P5 or whatever, and I got SMT3, and dare I even say it, I think it's my favorite in the series. And like, dude, if you like SMT3, you're gonna like this one. And I expected it to be somewhat like SMT3 in some ways. At least the overworld, it reminds me a lot about it, and I think you like. I don't know if I'm
Yeah,
supposed to say you
yeah,
showed me a little something, but like I'd seen it. It's like this looks like SMT3 to me. I liked it. I like the feel. The environment, the feel of the game, the battles, everything just feels pretty good. I think it's what I expected, but I'm still happy it's what I expected. If that makes any sense.
yeah, yeah. Of course, yeah. I didn't know what to expect when they announced the game, and when they showed the game, I was kind of confused as to what to expect with the game, because I was like, oh, they mentioned so much about like, oh, there's a lot of inspiration for Nocturne and everything, and I'm like, that sounds cool, but I really want to see like that. What is cool about this game is it really very much has its own identity, but it
That's
also feels
good.
like Shin Megami Tensei Nocturne in like some ways, but it feels like its own game. It's not like a copy or like it's not trying to be Nocturne, because I know maybe some people have that concern of like trying to be Nocturne or something like that. It really
Yeah,
feels like its own game. It's
which it
not like
should.
it's not like it's trying to be Nocturne, but it does have like the feel sometimes. Like it feels very Nocturne at times.
And
Hmm.
there's one thing I've noticed too, and you guys can correct me on this if I'm wrong. The one thing I didn't like about SMT3, even though I like love it a lot or whatever, I have a review coming out soon for it. Little plug, but uh, I didn't like the protagonist's bond with the friends. Like the friends are just literally just like assholes to you the whole time. Don't really do much. There's nothing going on there, and I'm like, from what I can tell, it looks like SM25 is maybe a little better at that, which I kind of liked, but I'm not too sure. I really don't know what to expect with that. I hope that's something they kind of maybe patched up on the bond with the protagonist and like the his sort of friends and people around him.
Yeah. So
It's kind of like Persona 5 without the heart.
Oh God.
No, no. To be serious though, I don't want to like pop the bubble or anything, but I think what they did. Maybe Kiro, you can see if you agree with me or not.
so
But I think that's what they did. It's similar with the other
yeah,
characters around the protagonist. It's very similar to Nocturne, like the
yeah.
bond
So
and all that stuff. It's similar. It's not deeper, in my opinion.
Okay.
yeah, yeah. So to kind of like go around this question, Shin Megami Tensei games in general aren't very character driven, or like there's no character focus. It's more like about the big ideas and like
Yep.
the big concepts and everything. So although you do see them and they pop up and everything, it's never gonna be like a persona. Hey, let's go hang out, or like
I don't want
let's
it to
develop
be.
these bonds or anything like that. But like very much every other Shin Megami Tensei game, it doesn't really focus on characters. It just focuses on the story and the elements and what's going on and
Yeah.
yeah, that kind of stuff.
I was just
Although
genuinely
if you do
confused
look for it,
what some of the people in SMT3 were after. Like the one friend with the hat just gets mad at you, and I'm like, what did I even do? I'm like, at least hopefully SMT5 like explains it a little better. I don't know. I don't know, I'll have
what,
to see
what,
for myself.
what's the kid in Nocturne? What's his name?
I can't even remember. He's so forgettable. I hate to
Oh
say
yeah.
it.
Um,
He's just I don't know the
No,
dude with the hat.
it's not like that. I know exactly what you mean. He
Yeah,
suddenly is like, "Oh man, you're such a dick. Why didn't you help me?" You're like, "Yo, I'm like running around in the
yeah.
desert. What do
I'm
you
not
want
saying
me
I want
to
I'm not
do?"
saying I want like P5 social links with the characters, but like I just genuinely don't know what some of the characters and like SMT3 were doing. I'm like, what? They're just like all of a sudden hate me. It's like what happened? I don't even
So
know.
there is an improvement on this. It's more like in SMT4, where there is like I don't know. In SMT4, um, when you play a section, there's a story, and then you go under your thing, and then there's a story, and then you
Hmm.
go under your thing, and there's a story, kind of like that. Like you go and in this the whole world and everything like that. Um,
I'd
but
say it's a mix of them both. It's like a
yeah,
mix of
Okay,
Thor and Nocturne.
I like that
yeah,
then.
it's
That'll
a
probably be really
healthy mix
good.
because a lot of people complained because Apocalypse went on the opposite direction. It was
Oh no, yeah.
entirely character driven.
No, it
Like
was
everybody
forced.
was
It was
yeah,
forced.
yeah.
It
It
was
was
like
it was
they
so
made a
forced.
good game, and then they added social interactions, forced social interactions on their main game because the base product is awesome, but it really feels like they added them afterwards. They're like, "Hey, we need to make this character focused, so let's just add random garbage." in the game.
You feel like Persona with a lot of heart.
Yes, exactly.
You
With
know
too
what's
much heart.
funny about the heart thing? I don't know if this is the pun on the fact that you steal hearts. Is that what
Yeah,
that's about?
that's exactly what it is a
P5
pun.
stole SMT5's heart. Is that what it is? It's like, what's that mean? I don't know.
Yes,
It's
that's
such a
what it is.
dumb
I don't
thing to
know.
say. Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know,
if
but
they.
the tagline. I think when they came up with it, they felt so smart about it. They were like, "Oh my god, this is such a
No.
good like pun or whatever."
They just look dumb doing that. Like, what does heart even mean? Like, what is it even supposed to mean, bro? I don't know.
What does that mean?
Journalism.
Yeah, no,
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know.
Even if they didn't say stuff like that, I still wouldn't believe anything they say. I hate to say it, but
You
I
know
don't
what's
trust big
really
companies.
interesting? I don't know. Did you guys watch the interview? Spencer from Shin Megami Tensei Network did an interview with the IGN girl, the one that wrote the article, and it was an interesting interview. I didn't watch the whole thing because I was busy. I'm working, so unfortunately, I didn't watch the whole thing. But I think that I don't think she understood why people were mad. I think they misunderstood what people were upset about. But I understand because she's not on the fandom, so like the you wouldn't understand like how people were mad about stuff. If you're in the fandom and you constantly see Persona 5 being like referenced everywhere, you're like when you go listen to a jazz track and you hear, oh, this is giving me Persona vibes, and you're like, oh my god, you roll your eyes, because it's fucking dumb.
Right.
Or like you watched an article and the article's like comparing Persona 5 to like, oh, like there's a quote very similar to that about SMT4 that says, uh, SMT4 is the Dark Souls of Persona. That's an actual quote. I don't know if you heard it before.
What the hell?
That's an actual quote from a journalist. So like, understandably so, Persona fans, SMT fans are kind of tired of like this like reference to Persona. Which I think I understand. Like I understand from a perspective of the fans because it's like there's more to the games than being Persona. Or like it's not even Persona. It's just an RPG, the Shin Megami Tensei and everything. So I don't know. To me, it's like if they were doing a review for Kingdom Hearts, and the entire time they were talking about Final Fantasy VII, the remake. But like, look at all the stuff that Final Fantasy VII, the remake did. Why can't Kingdom Hearts 3 be like that? So like that's not really a review. That's just kind of giving you an idea of what they like about Final Fantasy VII, the remake.
Yeah, comparing apples and oranges or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. Like
doesn't make sense.
That's technically still on the same universe. Like Final Fantasy and Kingdom Hearts are very much like same kind of properties. They're in the same place. You see similar characters pop up and everything, but nobody goes around being like, oh, like this, like Final Fantasy VII is just much better than Kingdom Hearts and like whatever. You want to go watch a review on Kingdom Hearts 3, and they're giving you a review on Kingdom Hearts 3. They're not giving you a review on the Final Fantasy VII. It's just kind of, I guess that's really my point on that. I don't really care. I understand strange.
Fuck, that doesn't mute my end.
Journalists and everything.
My bad, guys.
They don't really. I mean, like they're not in the fandom or anything. They don't understand that we go through this.
They should only be comparing it to past SMT title, like SMT4, Apocalypse, SMT3. That's what I always refer to it to. I mean, I think that makes sense. I understand, like, if you're like, okay, it's an Atlas game, let's look at other Atlas games. I think you could look at other Atlas games, but just P5, like, that's like really unfair. That doesn't make sense to me. If you're like look at the quality of all of their games at one time, then I kind of get that somewhat. If you're comparing their whole body of work that they've done as a company, that to some degree I get, but comparing it solely to just P5, it just doesn't really make sense that way. Like SMT3 and SMT4, that's what anything should be like. I don't think a lot of people were like, it's forbidden to talk about P5 when talking about it. It's like I don't necessarily think that's true, but if you're making your whole thing around that point, like that's just bad journalism. I think on some degree, it's like there's so much more material like you can compare it to that makes sense. You know.
Yeah, yeah. You have to make it sense. You have to make it make sense. Like I think, for example, it's much more valuable for me to hear a comparison between other Shin Megami Tensei games. Like if I hear, okay, SMT5, so is it close to SMT3? Is it close to SMT4? Is it like Strange Journey? Whatever. Like if you're giving me a close proximity of what the games are like, you kind of get an idea. But like we already know that Persona and Shin Megami Tensei are different series, and they do different things. So like I don't know. Montgomery, Tennessee 5 is gonna be amazing. You're missing the S. What is S? DC
What?
said. I'm sorry. I just read a comment. It says Montgomery,
Oh.
Tennessee 5 is going to be amazing.
Did I slip up and say that, or are they just
No,
commenting that for the heck of it?
they said that. I just
Oh.
read it. I'm sorry. My
Oh.
train of thought just completely stopped because I was laughing in my head about it.
By the way, we should preface. Are we all streaming this right now?
I'm not.
I'm streaming it.
Okay. Yeah, like links down below to both Kuro and David's channel, by the way, in the link down below. If you guys will check them out, you probably have already. Links down below.
I forgot that. I forgot to do that.
It's so good, dude. I just want people
I'll
to
do it
know.
right now. I was like, I forgot about it, and when I was thinking about it, it's like, oh, it's too late now. Don't worry about it now.
Don't worry
And
about
Red Meriden asked if this was gonna be archived. This is pretty much always archived. So
Yeah.
if you guys don't have time to listen to it now, you can always come back to it later. So just kind of letting you guys know about that.
I think this is a good before and after thing, because I think I plan to do this afterward. I mean, you guys already played it too, but we could do like a spoiler podcast to explain more later, which would be cool to follow up with later.
Yeah, I think a spoiler podcast will be cool, but I will be willing to wait like a few months or like even like before doing that, just because people have different times to like. Some people take their time with the games and everything, and some people are a lot slower at playing games. So like obviously not everybody has the same freedom to like play games and everything. So
exactly, yeah.
so sometimes you have to wait to kind of see. It's just hard to know how long is it a good time to wait. To talk about spoilers. Like is it weeks? Is it months? Should you wait a whole year before talking about spoilers? I don't know.
There's always going to be somebody who hasn't played it, and you're going to spoil them no matter what. It's just a matter of how long do I wait until I spoil something? Like,
yeah.
What's the lowest percentage?
We are not going here with the intention of spoiling anything to anybody. But sometimes you kind of want to discuss the spoilers parts of the game, especially games that are like very intense as far as like the things happen in the game. Because behind the scenes, I've been talking to other content creators and kind of like their experience with the game and everything. Because I was curious to see how different their experience was from mine. Not in like a performance, like a gameplay. I'm like, what ending did you get? Like, what was your experience like and everything? Because it's very interesting to see. Because I was telling David this the other day, but this is the first Shin Megami Tensei game that I play that there's no other reference for. Like, I don't know anything about it as far as like what endings do they have, like how can you do the path. I don't even know the map. Like, I get lost like fucking 3 hours while playing the game because I couldn't find the correct location. The map wasn't helpful at all. And I'm like, I can't look it up. I cannot even ask anybody.
I kind of like that though.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. And that's cool. It's fun. It's like sometimes when I'm, when you're just lazy and you want to play, but you don't want to really think and use your brain. That happens after long days at work for me. And when playing RPGs, sometimes I'm just like, fuck it. I'm just going to check the stats of the boss and I'm just going to wreck him because I'm going to know his weakness. But with SMT5, that's not a possibility.
Right. So you have to think about it and like, It really makes you like it gives you that unique experience for the game that I don't think that I had for another Shin Megami Tensei game before. Because let's be frank, for Persona, I never had to look up anything. It's just not saying that the games are really easy, but I never really had a need to look up stuff. But I know for other Shin Megami Tensei games, like in Nocturne, I was like, I don't know what the fuck to do, man. I'm like running around for like through 3 hours. I'm like, I'm lost. Like, where do I go from here? I'm
I
like talking
love
to every
that game though.
NPC, trying to figure it out. Like, and that has like that gives you like a sense of like exploration and like you're really like getting so involved with the game. So it's nice to not have like that reference point.
Yeah, whenever I started playing SMT3, because I got late to the whole SMT games, I went in with a clear head and I didn't look anything up either. I just wanted to know like one thing. I was like, how do I get the true ending? And everybody's like, just do the Kalpas. I was like, all right, if that's all I gotta do, that's all I'm gonna do then. Like, I will just make sure to do that. I didn't look anything else up. Like no demon fusions, nothing. And I thought that was the best experience. It's kind of like the Dark Souls games. It's like if you look stuff up, it's like you could find secrets that help you out a lot more earlier on and stuff like that. But like if you naturally find really cool stuff in the game yourself, it feels so much more satisfying because you had absolutely no clue you're about to get something like makes you like super OP or get something that's like really cool. So that's what I look forward to, and that's why I've been avoiding spoilers as well because not only just like finding stuff in the game, but like seeing stuff for the first time is like really like
Right, right, right.
cool to get.
I would just want to say one thing about when you were talking about spoilers and stuff. As far as like not knowing anything, I want to say the trailers were really well edited because I had a lot of misconceptions as far as like
Yep,
what I was expecting, like story wise or like gameplay wise or things like that.
I
And
noticed that as well.
it's
Yeah,
good. It's good because it really painted like the wrong thing. So when you win the game and you see a lot of the stuff, you're like, do not worry, because I know Katana Riku had done a video that was like, oh, are they showing too much? And I was like, maybe, like they may be showing too much. When you play the game like easily, like not really. Like what you saw was barely anything of what the game offers. Like it's just such a
yep.
small uh areas and everything. So yeah, in fact, I don't think the trailers showed all the areas, right?
Good, it shouldn't. I mean, I think they've shown just enough. I'm still
Mm-hmm.
questioning a lot of stuff about the game, but it was enough to get me intrigued. I mean, I was intrigued no matter what, kind of, but like I've pretty much been on the
Yeah,
SMT5 boat for a while now. But
yeah, like you were on the SMT 5 hype already. Yeah, I think that's what it is. Sometimes like you have enough of the trailers. Like there's so many trailers dropping, and you're like, whoa, this is like a trailer every week. So I don't know. Like I reacted to them along with like everybody and everything. So I had like that nice experience of like, oh, we're gonna react to them together. But in my mind, I was like, should I watch this trailer? Do I want to be spoiled? Quote. But yeah, no, I'm happy to report the trailers didn't really spoil much for the game. So um, they were really well edited.
that's good. I mean, I think Atlas does a good job at that kind of stuff anyway. You know, being able to show something off but not like give too much, which I think the trailers did a good job at.
Yeah,
And the DLCs as well. I feel like they shown those off really good too. They definitely made it feel like that's something I want to buy. And I'm not big on day one DLC. I think that's kind of, you know, a little crappy because it's like you obviously have it done before the game's out, so like you could put it
yeah.
in, but still, I think the DLC is pretty cool. I'll probably get some of it. I don't know what DLC you guys look forward to the most. I know the SMT3 one. I think the Return of the True Demon or King or whatever. That one looks pretty interesting. But the Matama ones, not so interesting. I think those ones are just kind of like free grinding items. Those ones are a little. I don't know. It's like
Yeah.
$3 for them too, like each.
Mm.
It seems like a little much just for that. But like $10 for like 9 fiends or whatever, and you can get them on your team and get a ending demi fiend boss fight. That seems definitely worth the money. I think so.
It's like
Um,
$10, right? Is it $10
yeah,
for the Demi-Fiend one?
yeah. So it's like $1 for each, which isn't too bad because like Cleopatra is like I think five. Artemis I think is like
Mhm.
$5. It's just one, you know. But
Yeah.
the Demi Fiend one definitely seems worth it. I think.
Oh yeah.
Matama's not so much.
I don't know. I'm not really big on the DLC. And I'm probably gonna wait a minute before I buy it, because I'm like, I don't know, because I'm already buying the collector's edition. So like, I don't know. Should I just drop more money into Smt-5? And like, I feel like collector's edition should include all DLC for free.
Right?
Yep. All
Why
day
doesn't
one
it?
DLC, 100%.
Yeah, like I mean, like we're already paying like $130 for this thing. Like, give us some DLC. Come on, because the deluxe edition includes the DLC.
And that's cheaper than our collector's edition.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, that's no surprise. We know they're terrible at that. Like, there is no. You couldn't get like what was it, Strikers or SMT? Or was it SMT3? I can't remember. Like Strikers, you could get it physically, but you wouldn't be able to play it 4 days early. Only the digital ones could do that, and that's like really dumb too. It's like, what if I want it physically
Yeah, that
and
was
early?
pretty bad.
It's
Yeah, I
like,
was really
why would they
concerned
do
about that originally. Shout out to Katana Riku for that donation of $4.99. Says we have finally made it to SMT5 boys.
Yes, sir.
Thank you
Hell
so much for
yeah.
coming by, Riku. Appreciate it, and thank you for your
Shout outs
donation.
to Riku, man.
Yeah. Oh man. Shout out to his review. If you guys haven't already seen it, his review is already out in the. Man, I forgot that publication that he
Game
did it
Explain.
for. Yeah. Yeah. So really good review. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about the DLC stuff, because for one part, it's supporting. You support Atlas and the developers and everything. So yeah, I should buy some DLC, but at the same time, like I mentioned, I'm like, I already bought that collector's edition. This was like a lot of money, so like I had to wait, and maybe later on and everything. Because the game itself has a lot of content already, so like to me, it doesn't feel like cut content. Maybe because I already played the game multiple times. So
Yeah, that's what
I'm
I
like,
always say. I'm like, man, I feel like I'm getting my money's worth with $60. Like I've spent so many hours, I've had so much fun, so I'm fine with paying 60. But then again, it's like it's content that is ready. That should have been in the base game, and I
That's
need
what I
to
was
pay
saying.
$30 additional to play it.
You're paying for half a game for DLC. If you get the bundle, I think it's $25 for everything, which is like, yeah, it's like almost half of what the game costs.
is it really? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I hadn't thought about it like that.
$25
Thinking of it
bundle gives you all of
individually,
it.
Okay.
If you individually buy them all, it's like
worse
30.
now.
I could feel the disappointment, Kiro.
Yeah,
was
like
like,
that's what
oh.
I'm saying. It's like the
Yeah.
SMT3 one for $10, like worth it. The rest of them though, like $3 to $4 for just one demon and their boss fight,
Yeah.
not worth it, man.
I'll let you guys in a little secret here, just so everybody knows here. It'll be a little reward for watching this stream. The Magatama are in the wild in the game. You don't have to buy the DLC. They just kind of show up in the game. So this is my little secret about it.
Don't buy the Matamas, is what he's saying. Don't buy them.
Well, it's basically
No,
just that the Magatamas in game, they're not common. They're scattered here and there, but they're not that common. And the DLC, it's just like they're everywhere, from my understanding.
Yeah, but
They bring up
I
the
mean,
spawn rate, right? Isn't that what they do?
if you just go from one area to another area and then come back to the other area, they spawn again.
Here's another one. Just get good.
Just get good.
Just get
Speaking
good.
of the Steiden, East Steiden. I don't know. I'm sorry, I'm butchering that name. He's asking normal or hard for SMT5. I believe I actually played it on all levels. I tried hard, I tried normal, and casual. I didn't try the really easy because it's not out because of the DLC. But I'll be honest, normal and casual felt almost the same to me. Like, and I switched back and forth, boss battles and everything. I really felt not much of a difference. Hard is okay. I don't think it's super hard. So don't expect like a hardcore or anything like that. It's just the demons hit harder. That's about it. But I don't think that hard is like that much harder than original game. David, what did you try it on?
Only normal, actually. I didn't try it hard and I didn't try easy either. Normal is just great. It's been great for me. It's like it's not too rough and it's not too easy either. It's really good. It's just like 4 in normal. Maybe a little bit harder than 4 in normal, I would say.
Oh, you think so?
I think, yeah.
I thought it was about the same. I don't know. Maybe
Four was
because
easy. I don't know what people's problem are with 4, but I think 4 is easy.
No, no. I thought Smt-5 was easier.
I'm not sure, man. On normal, I'd say 4 was easier.
Really? I don't know. Maybe because I exploited too many things. I don't know. I got good at the game.
maybe you got like a sick build off the start or something. Maybe, you know.
Well, I'm not. I don't consider myself very good at these games. Even if I play a lot of them, it's like I'm not that good. So maybe I'm not a good example. I don't know.
Wait, like Kira. Well, let's get a comparison. Like, how long have either been playing Meg 10? Because like I know Kira's been playing it since he was like, I don't even know. You were like a kid.
Probably about the same as David. I don't know. My first game was my first game was Persona 3, and then I played. You had literally Persona 4 was coming out when I played Persona 3, so that was about like
P4.
2000. P4 PlayStation 2. I don't know what
release
it is. 2008, I think 2009, something like that. I remember seeing a trailer for it. Like not a trailer, a cutout on a magazine, because you know that's how they advertise for things before. And I remember seeing that, but I knew about Nocturne because of Devil May Cry, because I'm a fan of Devil May Cry games. So I saw on YouTube the battle of the first time that you fight Dante, and that's how I found out about Nocturne. That's actually how I found out about Shin Megami Tensei. And I looked for the game and I couldn't find it. And then after playing Persona 3, I went and bought a cheap copy on eBay for like $15 or something like that. I guess somebody was bad at the game because they were selling it for really cheap. I really think that the person just never played it because he was like in mint condition. And then I lent it to somebody and I never got it back.
Damn, bro. P4 is my intro to the series,
that's a great place to start.
King has a really big collab video coming out. Like I think you said November 20th. Like a bunch of different content creators about P4. I've been so excited for that to come out. A little shout out to
King Narukami that says, "I let Nua peg me with her long toenails."
Mommy Numa.
Oh,
she's great.
Honestly, she's great.
I'll second that one.
One of my favorite characters.
She was my favorite, and I haven't played it yet, bro.
Yeah. She was one of my favorite characters in the game. So, yeah, I don't know. I liked all the characters. I liked every character. No, except for one guy. There's one person I did not like, but I'll leave that for a future video when I talk about it.
That's good.
Yeah, this will be maybe spoilers at some point, but yeah. King, what the hell, man? You're in the toes. What is with the toe thing? I need to know what the thing about the toe is. I understood.
Did he just show up whenever I plugged that video immediately, or what?
Yeah, he was there earlier. I saw the hashtag horniest horny for Ff7 but then
that's him, all right.
Yeah, but when I saw that he said
sounds about right.
Knew what to peg him with her toenails. I was like, I need to. I don't even want to picture that. I refuse to picture that. I'm sorry.
But like to people listening that didn't play the game, like I know Riku's saying Nua is cool. Like her design and everything obviously is great for multiple reasons, but her character as well is really great. Like when she makes appearances, it's cool. It's exciting. It's a great character. That's all.
That's good then.
Yeah, definitely. She's a great character. I have a question for you guys. Do any of you would like to see any kind of like DLC guests, like they did with Smt-3 with Dante and everything? Maybe sell like something like that.
P5 pro tag so the game can be good. You know what I mean? Just kidding! Don't kill me. Just kidding. I don't know. To be honest,
I'm actually surprised
Joking.
that Joker isn't in the game. That felt like such an Atlas move, and they didn't do
Totally.
it. It's surprising to me.
It
But
is surprising.
I don't think we're
Yeah.
getting other DLC. I think they just made it day one, and that's gonna be it.
You don't think like anything from SMT4 will come in?
I don't think so.
You don't
I'd
think
like
so?
it though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is
There
that more
was
of a Persona thing where they
uh,
bring old pro tags in, or is that a SMT
no,
thing?
absolutely not. The previous SMT games had DLC like that too. Like in Apocalypse, there's a DLC where you fight all the protagonists from every SMT game. Mainly.
Was it just Apocalypse that's done that though? I guess SMT3 hasn't done that.
With all the protagonists, I think so. Yeah.
What do you mean? What do you mean? Nocturne had
Well, Ryder's in
Lido
there.
and
I mean,
Dante.
mainline SMT stuff.
Well,
That's
in Digital Devil Saga, you could fight Demi Fiend.
oh yeah, you can do that too. Yeah. Did SMT4 have DLC of that type?
I don't think so. No.
I think Apocalypse is the
remember.
only to have mainline
I
SMT.
never
in
bought
it.
any. I never bought any DLC for any of these games. I'm like, I'm just bad. In fact, the fight, I only seen it. I never done the fight for Apocalypse. Because honestly, the first time that I played a game, I never finished it. I dropped it, and then I picked it up again like years later, and I just finished it, and I never touched it again. And then I tried to stream it, but I'm like, I just got so annoyed with their banter between a different character, the female protagonist and the what's her name? Forgot her name. I blocked them out of my mind. I probably don't want to
The girl that's always with Nanashi.
relieve them. Yeah, what's her
That's
name? I forgot her
Asahi.
name. I do not like her.
It's
Asahi, yeah.
Yeah, she's awful.
Yeah, there's this girl, and then there's this other blonde chick, and they like banter back and forth all the time. And I'm like, oh man, I do not. I just do not need that. So yeah, so I don't know. I'm gonna down for some DLC. So.
We'll see. I mean,
read King's latest comment.
I gotta pull up the stream. I need to see what's going on.
Yeah, pull up the chat. Riku says, I really hope SMT4 gets something at some point. But yeah, probably day one DLC and that's it. Oh, you mean SMT5?
For 50 years,
and then says, hi JCat, how are you doing? Sorry about that. I let Nua burn my balls with Kill me with that Aaron. Then do it 20 times over again. I don't know. I don't know if I could do that. What if your weakness is to fire, King? What are you gonna do?
I think he wants that.
He wants that.
Probably.
He knows
Devil
it's
Shooter.
the
How's it going,
weakness.
man? Yeah, I don't know.
I think my game's gonna be delayed, Bobby. Unfortunately,
I don't know what
it looks
to
like
say
mine's
after
gonna be
that,
delayed.
King.
Oh, mine gets to too. I don't know.
I have no words now.
Oh my god.
Awkward silence going on now. Now I was like, oh man, I don't know how to follow
Record
up
scratch.
that.
Alright, I got both of these. I need, because I can't be missing out on these comments.
On the comments, yeah.
Yeah.
What's going on over there? Do you have any funny comments? Yeah, I don't think you have King going over there with.
Nah, King finds a home and he sticks to it, and he'll make sure his presence is aware, dude.
Ragnar says that I'm a madman because I actually read it out loud. You know, it's probably not a good idea to read that because, like I said, I was like, I have no comeback to that. I am now forever tainted by King's words. I will never be able to be the same again. I have now experienced it. I don't know. You should follow King on Twitter. He's funny.
Yeah, he pops in like, I don't know, everybody's stream, you know, at some point, saying this kind of stuff. It's great. Like I said, that he's like November 20th. This might be the biggest Meg 10 collab of all time. I feel like it is, right? Like, is that not? It's like it just got like 20 people in this upcoming video or something like that. It's nuts. It's a lot. It's about P4. If you like P4, that's your video. You guys did the 13 Sentinels thing, didn't you?
Yeah, that was 13 Sentinels. That was 13 people, 13 YouTubers for the video. Do you remember that, David? I forgot. That was like such a long time ago.
Yeah, well, that.
Yeah, how's it going, Ducky? What's up, man?
To do the thing, yeah, that was.
Yeah. That was like a year ago. In reality, that was like a year ago because I remember recording that. I turned it in and I never heard about it again.
That the same thing happened to me.
And then like they released it. It actually did really good. The concept of it was really cool. I wish I had thought of it, but obviously I don't have great ideas like that.
Yeah, don't say how many endings there are. Random Jess asked that. I think people want to not know.
Yeah, I'm sorry, we're not discussing spoilers, and we won't be telling you how many endings there are. People have asked me that repeatedly on Facebook, on Twitter as well. We're not discussing
Bobby,
spoilers.
I think most people just in general.
If you want to Google it,
most people in general got it delayed. Unfortunately, I don't know why. I think a lot of it has to do with COVID and shipments and stuff like that. I got mine from GameStop and it's delayed, which sucks.
All right. Ragna asked us if we could give a shout out to her, the boy Sukuna Hikona. That's on your chat, right?
Yeah, I see it. Purple's the best. I don't know who that is. Purple's a
Yeah,
jokester. Don't let her fool you, okay?
Oh shit. I accidentally clicked on the button. I'm sorry, guys. I clicked the button. I was not supposed to.
A lot of people are just talking about delays. Like, it's not just Amazon, unfortunately. Don't crush my dream, bro. I think it's delayed because I got mine through GameStop, and I know GameStop's terrible, but it's the only place that had a Steelbook left, and I wanted a Steelbook so bad. It's delayed there. A lot of people say Amazon's delayed. VGP's seems to be delayed as well.
Yeah, VGP confirmed it to me directly that they're only gonna ship them on the 16th. Soonest.
At least they're only delaying it. I heard people in Mexico their games are getting canceled. Their pre-orders.
Oh, that's rough.
So sad, man.
Yeah, that's pretty shit. Like at least you're getting it, but if they're canceling it, that's pretty shit. Like I feel pretty bad for people that are just getting their
especially the collector's edition, because the standard edition you're gonna find them in local stores anyways, but for the collector's edition for Atlas stuff, bro, if you don't get it at launch, you just don't get it.
Yeah, it sucks. Mine is just delayed. No, it's not delayed. You see, it still doesn't say delay, but like I was mentioning earlier, it's just not gonna arrive, guys. It's like 2 days. There's like no way that it's gonna arrive now.
Yeah,
and I'm not okay with it, but it is what it is.
Some of my chat said thanks, David. Which thank you for at least updating on that. At least for VGP anyway. At least you have that. Certain places I just don't think are saying anything. I had to call GameStop and they just were like, I don't know, it might come. So
typical GameStop.
Yeah, typical GameStop. This is why I try not to ever get anything from GameStop because they're just so useless.
But like I clicked Steelbooks, man. I was like, I need that Steelbook. Because I knew I couldn't get the collectors. Like, I wasn't about to drop that much money. Although this is definitely like a title to do it for, and the collector's edition's pretty dope too, to be honest.
Honestly, I'm kind of disappointed now because so many people.
The copy got delayed, Xavier. Damn, bro.
Man, I really wanted to do like a unboxing.
It sucks,
I'm still gonna do an unboxing, mind you. But I was kind of annoyed that I was like, oh man, so many people already get in the game. And really, I don't understand why, but there's so many people got it earlier.
Yeah, I've seen that. Like, people are like on Twitter. I seen someone on Facebook like literally just like have a video of them playing it. I'm like, what? Like, how are some people like not getting it at all, and then some people are getting it like 3 days early? It's like, how does that happen? Man, it's like they're not review codes; they're just flat out getting the game. It's crazy.
Yeah,
man.
No, that's crazy. Yeah, I saw somebody on Facebook posted a picture of their collector's edition, and I was like, oh man, I really want to open mine, but it's where is
Just
it?
rub it in, bro. Just rub it in.
Yeah, right, exactly. I was just so disappointed. I was like, oh, I want it so bad. So yeah, I mean, it is what it is. Hopefully, people get their collector's edition. Like I said, some
Hell
people that
yeah,
are getting it
Orlando.
canceled and everything because that
SMT9.
sucks.
I need to try that out. I don't have an
sucks.
Xbox though, so
That just sucks.
yeah. It totally. I don't think in like people might be at Atlas for this. Like think it's their fault. It's probably not their fault at all. So you want to blame anybody? Blame these billion-dollar shipping corporations.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I think that's exactly what it is. Yeah. For JCat that was calling. Why are they canceling? Because they sold too many. You know, so they have the way that things work when you order stuff for like you order, you kind of estimate how many people are going to pre-order something, and then you go and put the order with the shipments and everything. But it's not like you have unlimited amount of copies. You have to tell them how many people you are going to
Yeah.
pre-order your thing. So what happens
you
is,
stock the pre-orders.
yeah, they overshot it and they left it open, and then they sold too many of them. So now not enough people are getting it because there's just not enough copies of it. So that's why they're canceling it. At the end of the day, the only person that loses is the customer. I mean, because the companies are not going to lose anything.
Yeah. Double Shooter said I can wait, no big deal. To be fair, we have waited a long time, so you know what? If I have to wait a week, I guess I will. It's unfortunate, it's sad,
Yeah.
but yeah, you're kind of right, I guess. It's not Atlas's fault, so at least on the game's perspective, things are fine their way, you know. Can't get mad at them.
100%. I don't think they will really care about that. But I personally like. Hopefully they resolve this and everybody gets their copies, because I do feel bad when you're excited for a game and they cancel your pre-order, especially if it's like a collector's edition and everything. It's such a bad feeling. I know it firsthand because that happened several times. I mentioned that I do try to buy the collector's edition, so when they cancel it, it's such a bad feeling because you're like, oh man, you know, like I was so ready to enjoy my game and everything, and you have the money to pay for
Be
it.
sure to
and,
try
and
that
then
out, Orlando.
you just get set.
I'm really interested in that, man.
Yeah,
Really
I mean,
interested in
I
that.
don't. It's a bad feeling, really.
Yeah, fortunately, but there's not much we can do about it. If it's out of our hands, you know, it's out of our hands, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
How do you guys? So, Kira, you said you're not gonna. You said you're like on the fence about playing it again. Is everybody here gonna be streaming it? Because like I know I'm streaming it as soon as I get it. I guess I hopefully Friday will get it. But are you guys streaming it? I think David, you're doing the like a drinking challenge, right, with the True Demon DLC.
That's actually going to be canceled, unfortunately. I don't know if King announced that already, but yeah, that was the plan. I want to stream the DLCs during the day on Friday, but I'm not a streamer in general, so that's going to be like a Q&A about SMT5 while I'm beating the DLC. But other than that, I don't have any big plans now. How about you guys?
Well, I haven't played it yet, so I'm just basically doing a clean blind playthrough, and I think I'm just gonna buy a couple DLCs to go alongside it. I mean, I love streaming. I streamed P4, 5, Strikers, SMT3, and a couple other games. So I'm trying to get like playlists of like all of the big like Meg 10 games and some of the smaller ones like after SMT5. But I've been looking forward to streaming this for a long time.
You're gonna have a blast.
It's just a fun experience. I love streaming it with everybody. It just
I
think
feel
it
like
makes
this
it a little
game is
better.
gonna be
You know?
I feel like this game is gonna be a good streamable game.
Dude, you've been waiting since launch, lol.
so
Right, dude?
I think it's gonna be good for streaming. I want to try to stream it as a new game plus kind of thing, because that's the only way that I'm gonna be able to sit through the entire game again. It's not because I didn't enjoy it. It's because I don't know. I cannot sit through a game twice in a row. I did it with Nocturne, because we also got a review copy for Nocturne from Atlas, and I could not for the life of me sit down to that game again after beating it. I was like, I'm just so exhausted of the game, so I'm like, I can't sit down and play through it again. But I will try for this one just because it's still very fresh on my mind, and I'm still thinking about it. It's just such a game that I'm kind of like still actively thinking about it. So
Yeah,
I
especially a
will
JRPG.
try.
Like,
Yeah, yeah.
JRPGs take
But
like 80 hours, bro. Like you don't do that all again, right? Back to back, you know?
right. Especially because I already played the game twice, so that's the thing. So
Yeah,
like
that's a
I'm
lot.
trying to unlock the other endings. So I already did 2 playthroughs. The second playthrough is like a lot faster. Obviously, New Game Plus. You got all the bells and whistles and level
There's
90
two new game
something.
pluses, right? That do different
Yeah.
things, right?
So you can do it's basically a challenge thing for yourself. So one, you get everything for the previous game, levels, demons, everything else, and then there is another one where you only get certain things. Because honestly, the game will just be so not will be. It's really easy once you're doing a new game plus with everything. You just go through breeze through the story and
Right.
everything. So.
And this isn't a
Uh,
spoiler. They said this during I think volume 3 of the SMT
yeah.
information
This
thing.
has been already announced in
Yeah.
the trailers and
I can't
everything,
remember
so I
what the
think it's
name
fair
of
game
it
to talk about.
was. Like one was like True to Game Plus, or like I can't remember the name. Like one kept
No,
the
one
compendium or
thing is like
something.
reborn. I can actually check. I have my. Let me grab my Switch. I can actually tell you the exact name.
Yeah, like one keeps the compendium and some other things. The other one's like a fresh, like almost completely fresh start, something like that, which is nice to have, I guess. I think this, if I believe is right, I think it's the first time we've had this option to even go into a new game plus with like what exactly you carry over, because like um you get different things I think too for most games if you do like a new game plus. I don't know if this game has that stuff. I haven't played it, but I guess no spoilers. We don't want to know about that, but I'm still interested though. I'm
Yeah,
glad there's
yeah.
options.
It's not really a spoiler because it's something that I already kind of touched up on the trailers and everything.
Yeah,
I'm
and I
putting
think it's
up the game,
expected to.
so I'm just gonna have to wait for it to actually put up, and then I'll tell you guys what the name of that is. Because I don't really remember what the exact name is. They didn't do like a new game plus thing. It has a specific name to it.
Yeah,
Couldn't
what
tell
was
you.
like
Okay, so let's see. Um, Newborn and Reborn. So
right?
Newborn carries minimum data, and Reborn just carries everything.
Huh.
Okay, good. I know
So
some people
that's
were
basically
questioning.
what it is that we are
I
talking about.
I know my videos have had comments about that, but that's good.
Sorry about that.
There's that answer.
Something happened to my headset.
You good,
I
bro?
didn't hear you guys. Sorry about that.
You're good. I was just saying
Uh,
the certain people have been asking that in my comments, so there's there's the answer to that. Two different
yeah,
ways.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not a whole lot to be frank, but you do unlock a lot for New Game Plus. Just like in SMT 4, for example, you unlock new demos, so you can fuse only on New Game Plus and stuff like that. Same thing with this game. You unlock a lot of features for doing New Game Plus, so there are some benefits for doing that or something like that.
Which will be good to stream through. I know
Yeah,
like
it's
people do like I think that's what I plan on doing, like a normal run through of the game and then on New Game Plus, like cranking up the difficulty. What do you guys think about the game leaking early? I don't know what's leaked, King.
The whole game, the ROM was
Really?
the entire game, yeah, and not leaking as in like somebody leaked the story. It's
nah,
like
the
the
whole thing.
actual game was leaked online,
Yeah,
so you
people
could
started
play it on
playing
the
it
computer.
on emulators on like I think it
Already?
was Tuesday,
Yeah, yeah.
yesterday or
Mm-hmm.
Monday. I'm not sure. Well,
Monday,
it really
Monday.
sucks because that's gonna cause issues with the sales of the game. I think it's gonna do well either way. I mean, it's a small part of the
Yeah,
community that is able to emulate those games, so that's not a real deal. It's not that a really big deal for say, but it's still a bummer because if you don't buy the games, they're not gonna make them anymore at the end of the day. So I think it sucks, and I hope you guys won't emulate it. If you do, buy a copy of the game. That's my stand on it.
Right.
Hundred
Yeah.
percent, yeah, yeah. Support the game, guys. You know, these you know, Atlas is not a big company. They're a pretty small company still. I know they're attached to Sega, but you know they still need the support, our support and everything.
Those
And
fuckers
you
that
know,
should buy it. You're
piracy is never
absolutely
good
right,
for like
Xavier.
games that just
Absolutely
came
right, bro.
out. You know, like at least like I'm fine with emulators if it's like a few gens ago or we can't buy the game anymore. But this is a brand new game, so I don't feel like there's much of an excuse as far as
I
like
mean,
using
Yeah.
an
and
emulator right now.
it's also one thing if you emulate it and you have absolutely no way of getting it, but like if you have a way of getting it, like you kind of don't have a choice then. Like you're just doing it to do it at that
Well,
point.
even
Yeah,
then, if
yeah.
you don't want to switch, like I've seen some people saying, I don't give a shit about the Switch. I just want Smt-4 and I don't want to buy a $400 system to play it. That's fair. Emulate it and buy a copy of the game.
Yeah,
That
true.
way
At
they
least
Yeah,
support
support the
them.
yeah.
game. That's simple.
Yeah, that's true. They support them somehow in some way. Um, like I know certain games like PQ, you know, like it's hard to get physical copies, but you can digitally download them as well. Like I know some people just want hard copies. It's like if you can't get one, you also could just digitally download it. It sucks, but sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. And it's also another thing too, if you're downloading it and just pirating it, which is bad enough, but like also spoiling it for people before the
No,
game's out, even
yeah,
like
that's shady.
that's a whole extra
Pretty
level of
shit. Yeah.
evil.
Yeah, 100%.
Hey, Spooky
I
Speaks, how's it
really hate
going? I've come to the party.
there
Where's
are
my free
people that are
mannequin on the rocks?
legitimately just trying to spoil the game
Coming
for
right up.
people. Like I saw a guy on Twitter, and I was like, dude, like what the hell? Like,
I hope I
look,
get
I
my
don't
physical
care
one
whether
purple. As far
you're
as I know,
doing
it's
your
delayed. I have
personal
no clue.
time, but don't be
No
trying to
clue.
post spoilers and you know spoiling it for people. That's just mean. I don't know.
Yeah,
Jack
people are
Frost is a
assholes.
better mascot.
Yeah, I was just kind of like, that's just not cool. That's how I feel about it. I'm like, that's pretty shit.
Somebody
Uh,
donated and spoiled. I hadn't played through P4 because I tried to go through the games pretty clean. Did not know who the main. I'm just gonna say villain because I don't want to spoil it for anyone else, even though the game is old. But somebody spoiled, literally donated $5 and just spoiled the big thing at the end of P4 for me. I was just like, well,
oh
this
man, that
sucks.
sucks.
I could totally see it
Yeah.
happening now for SMT5. That's still another reason I'm a little scared to stream it, but
Mhm.
for the most
It's
part,
okay.
people are good. Like 90% of the people don't spoil anything, you know.
Mhm. I don't know. This the game doesn't really. I don't know. I'm cannot gonna say anything, but I don't
That
know.
steelbook
I
looks
just think it's
so
pretty
good,
shit
Xavier. You're
that
right,
people
man.
are like so adamant about like giving spoilers and everything. Just let people enjoy the game. I mean,
At least
it's
you are
not
getting in
bad.
time
Just
digitally.
let
That
them
is
enjoy
true.
games
Purple.
and that's it.
That's the mentality
Uh,
of someone with zero bitches. You tell him, King. You tell him, bro.
oh,
Absolutely.
but I do have to read other King Kami 45 comment that says Jack Force is a better mascot than Sonic. Yeah, I agree. I really don't like the Sonic. I've never been a Sonic fan, so
Who's Sonic? I don't know what you're talking
yeah, yeah. Sorry, I've been dodging spoilers like the Matrix. Yeah, you know what? I haven't seen a single spoiler.
Can't believe
Like,
Nanako was a killer. True.
yeah.
Funny thing is, Sonic is not Mario, Sega. I hate to say it. It's not that big. Mario games that come out still do well. I hate to say it, Sega, but you know?
Yeah. I don't know. I never been a fan of Sega game of Sonic. Just in general, I don't know. I just never been
There's some decent
the fan of the.
titles. Some of the older ones are pretty good
Uh,
too, but
they are.
I just don't know.
I
I
don't
just
know.
don't think they
I
know
just
what they're
really
doing
never been
now.
a fan. I just never been a fan of them. I'm not into. How do you explain? I'm not into.
It's a good idea,
Mm,
Spooky.
how
I
do
know
you,
I'm
what is the
streaming it
game
as soon as it
genre
comes out, but I
of
think we'll do
those
it
games?
slowly, so it doesn't, come out super fast. Like a 2D platformer kind of game.
Yeah,
Is
I'm
that what
not
you mean?
into platformers at all. I'm like, you know, like you know how David was talking about earlier. if there's an action RPG,
Glad you're here,
it's already
Spooky.
like a down point for
Yeah.
him.
Meg 10 Festival,
Like
yeah.
it's just any like platformer for me. It's just like a
Same.
down point. Like,
Same, bro.
I might double
anything
dip
that
and
has,
get
like,
Digital 2
platforming, I'm just
Orlando.
like,
I
no,
can't
let's
wait,
just-
dude.
It's
I
just
just
not
can't.
for me.
Oh yeah, same here. I'm like,
Yeah.
okay. Especially like again, Sonic, it goes super fast, everything's fast, and it's dude, I'm good.
Yeah, like I have like zero reaction time for that stuff.
Me neither.
It's kind of just like
yeah.
I don't know. It's just like flashy lights and just everything's going crazy. I feel like it's like what you would put on a TV for like a little kid to watch. That's kind of like Sonic gameplay. I can't lie. I also think like I don't know, like 3D platformers. I feel a little better, like Crash Bandicoot or like Spyro, Sly Cooper, stuff like that. I just feel like 3D ones are so much better. Not only like perspective, like level design stuff feels so much cooler in 3D. I don't know.
Yeah.
Sonic is just a little
Yeah.
like Mario's gone and went like 3D. You know, people I think remember the older Mario games just for nostalgia, but like the real good games nowadays, like Odyssey and stuff like that, like, people remember those like in 3D. Like those wouldn't do hardly as good if they were 2D. You know,
Yeah.
at least I think. So.
Karn the Betrayer
Mario's into
says
the
a
trend. Oh
bit
god,
early
hello.
for release date party, isn't it?
Oh,
No, the game
God.
actually released in Japan today. So that's why I tried to do it at this time. So
And also,
so the game has officially released.
and also, even if it's not 2 days is early, what? I'm not saying it's coming out today for the West, but still, it's coming out Friday. It's coming out this week. It's like a couple days away.
Right. It's just
2
very
days.
close to release and everything. We get to chat about it. Not chatting spoilers or anything like that. Just kind of talking about. It's just
You're
kind of random
absolutely
stuff
right.
at this time, really.
Recharm the channel. Bring it back, Purple. Bring
King
it
is
back.
just spitting over here. Saying all kinds of crazy stuff. Sonic is like Fire Emblem. Doesn't have any good games. What? No,
Cap. That's cap.
Fire Emblem has good games.
I've never played Fire Emblem. I got 2 cents about this.
Fire Emblem's amazing.
Yeah, it's a great series. I'm not the. I mentioned I'm not good at tactical RPGs or like that. I don't know why. I'm just not good. It's like it's a whole other layer of like from turn based to me.
Hey, quick unrelated question, Kuro, for the ARN mode in SMT5, does it change the amount of XP you gain after battles? Did you notice?
Was it?
When
what?
you're playing on hard mode, do you get like less experience when you end the battle?
Yeah,
You
it's,
do?
it's a big grind area. Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah,
Really?
but normal, and
I've heard Three Houses
and-
is good, Xavier. I need to play Three
normal
Houses.
and what is the other casual? Do not change the experience amount. So don't change to the casual thinking you're gonna grind faster.
You love Sonic? Spooky. See, I think certain Sonic games are
It
good.
gives you the same amount of XP.
A lot of them are hit and miss recently, you know?
Honestly, like I said, it just felt such a weird change between the two because I barely felt the difference, and I tried. I was just like trying to see like how much it felt different, but I personally don't feel any difference. But then again, I feel like as a Shin Megami Tensei player, like if you're experienced, it's really not gonna make much of a difference in like the grand scheme of things and everything. If you're already pretty good as far as like turn-based games, I don't think it's really gonna make much of a change for you.
As long as it's a decent challenge, and David kind of said normal mode seems to have that, that's really what I'm looking for, you know?
Well,
think it's a good balance.
Yeah.
I'm again, no spoilers for anyone listening. Don't worry. But I'm at end game right now in normal, and it's the first time that I have to grind. Again, remember, I'm doing all the side content though. So if you're not doing all the side quests,
Hey, Fox, how's it going?
you're gonna have to grind for sure. Because I'm doing everything, and
Project Saturn
55
Sonic
hours
looks
in,
really
I'm
good.
starting.
I'll
to
give
have
that a
to
look.
grind,
I'll
so.
give that a look.
Yeah, there is
That's good. I like
there's
that.
like I'll say there's 2 points in the game that where there is a need to grind. But that's about it. Other than that, I don't know why, but there's like a big jump in like level from one area to the next, and you're like,
Mhm.
whoa, wait a minute here, what the fuck? You're like level 50, and then suddenly you're like everything is like level 60. You're like, I'm gonna die. But it's really fun. I don't think of it like as a bad thing, kinda.
Open world
It's
Sonic sounds
certainly like
interesting. At least it's
I think
different.
like I love the grind. The game is just games like these are so fun to grind with. I maybe that's like not I don't maybe that's not a popular opinion, but I do love grinding in RPGs.
If the combat system is fun.
Yeah, it can be
Yeah,
boring and repetitive.
Oh yeah,
Like
yeah. I guess you're
Pokemon,
right.
I'm not trying to throw shade. Pokemon can get that way for me personally. I feel like that's the thing that makes me stop. Is it just gets really repetitive and boring. But that's just sort of me. I love Pokemon though. Don't kill me, please. Don't kill me.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm skipping this Pokemon game. The what is it called? The one that is
Brilliant
releasing soon.
Diamond, Brilliant Diamond, Shiny Pearl. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just skipping it. So I'm good. I'm good from that one.
I'm
I'm
interested
hoping
in
the
that.
next one though. The Arceus, is that what it's called?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm hoping to look at that one and see how that goes. That's
Think
the
that
one I'm excited for.
comes out in February, I think. Pretty sure next year, February. I think that's when they had it scheduled for. I'm not sure. Pokemon is a scam, King says. I'd love Gen 2.
Well, no. It is a scam. I don't know if that's what he means, but they got the ROM, the actual file of the game, and
Oh
apparently
yeah, I heard
it's the
about
exact
this.
same game, but there's just a code it's just like a little thing that switches from one to the other one. That
Well,
is
that's.
pretty scummy, I will
I
say.
mean, this is what they've been doing for years, guys.
I was about
I
to
don't get the
say,
controversy. That's what
Mhm.
they've been doing forever. There's always two versions,
yeah.
but they're the same game. There's different Pokemons that you get in. Some certain Pokemons are in a game, and the others they are not. So it's nothing new.
Yeah, I mean, to
Right.
be fair, you can trade the Pokemon from the other game to yours, and it still shows up in your game. That just goes to show it's in the files. It's there. You're not actually
Yeah,
getting
yeah.
theirs. You're loading up something that looks just like theirs.
Mm,
So
yeah.
yeah, that is a
Yeah,
little
I guess you're
strange.
right. Yeah. Yeah. I'll just wait for the whenever they improve the series in general. Once they make
Yeah.
the Dark Souls of Pokemon.
To be fair, right? To be fair, the only reason I think people are so hard on them, and they should be, is that the size of the company is. I believe it is the biggest franchise, I think, from like one particular just like asset, that being like Pokemon. Like Disney has a lot of different assets it's under. Like I think that's number one technically, but like Pokemon in terms of just its one asset, just being Pokemon, I think is the biggest in the world. It's like, why would their games not be a higher standard? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I feel like that's the biggest issue, right? As fans, like I feel like at least with Megaton fans or like Persona in general, like we may be
I hope you're right.
whiny,
I
but
hope it
at
is
least
improved,
like
Spooky.
we
I hope it
demand like
is.
quality, right? And the games are quality. But you look at Pokemon, I'm like Pokemon, and it's older than Persona, but it's about the same age as Megaton. You know, about give or take about over 30 years old at this point. But look at how far as Shin Megami Tensei goes as a series, and then you look at something like Pokemon, and you're like, "Yo, why is Pokemon making so much money out of this series?" Like, it's just
Yeah.
they need an improvement. They really need to kind of improve their games.
Do
And
they?
I feel like
They're selling 15 millions for their small games. That's why they don't give a fuck, because even with no efforts, they're selling
yeah,
millions.
exactly.
Like
Yeah,
Diamond and
because
Pearl, that's like a mobile game, and it's gonna sell 15 million copies plus. So that's why they don't care. But I think the big thing is with Pokemon, and I don't want to extend this too long because it's off topic, but the thing is they have
yeah,
to meet deadlines because of like the anime, the merge, the TCG. So because of all of that, they don't have a lot of time. Obviously, the budget's there and they have big teams and stuff. So I'm not trying to defend them, but it's things that people are not considering when they're complaining most of the time.
Yeah, that's
yeah.
true.
But that's why instead of complaining, they should really just not buy the games.
I'm really
Like
excited
Exactly.
about
if they suddenly just
Arceus.
didn't
That's
King
buy
what
the
an
said. I
game,
really
argument for
that
am.
would
fans.
really give a hit to like them, because honestly, nobody cares about what you say on Twitter. Nobody's
It's
gonna
true.
care.
I think.
Like,
Well,
do you
also,
think Nintendo gives a shit that you complain on Twitter?
They
I
don't
think a lot of
care.
people were upset about Sword and Shield because that seemed like it was going to be the big game that brings Pokemon back, because it looked like it was. You know, it had the open world aspects, it had gyms and everything. It was like pretty big, but then they're like, yeah, but we're going to cut out like half the Pokemon and do all this stuff. And I think that's what lost people when it came to that.
Yeah, definitely.
I think a little bit of that could just been, I don't know if it's laziness on their end or them not want to make new models for everything, but to be fair, it is a lot of Pokemon. I cut them some slack on that, man.
I mean,
A
it's
little
the
bit.
same thing for SMT5 if you think about it. It's their move to full HD with Unreal. And this game has like 200. The beginning of 200 is the number for the number of demons, which is on the lower side of things for SMT games, and no one's complaining. But it's
Yeah,
the same reason. It's because it's too much work to redo all the models, and
yeah.
because of the time
That being
constraints, they have to like cut the corners with the number of
Mhm.
demons. That's what
It's
they did with
understandable.
Pokemon. It's just that the fan base
yeah.
with SMT is like, we're just glad that there's an HD game, and the Pokemon fan base is like, nah, let's cry.
To be fair, it's like
That
600 Pokemon. It's like, unless you were trying to complete the Pokedex, you know, you shouldn't really worry about how many there are to begin with, I don't think.
yeah.
Just
I
because
don't
your
think
one
it's a
Pokemon
big
that was your
deal.
favorite, it's not in there.
I think a bigger deal is like, okay, if you're gonna have this limited amount of Pokemon, like do a good job of like animating everything. Because that's
Oh
one
yeah,
thing that
yeah,
I will
for
say
sure.
about Shin Megami Tensei 5. There's like unique animations for the special attacks and everything. Every demon, well, not every demon, but like a good chunk of the demons have unique attacks to that particular
Hmm.
demon, and they have unique animations. And I don't mean just like throwing fire, I mean like an actual cutscene for that particular attack, right? So like I know you've seen a few of them on like on the YouTube videos or whatever, but
Hmm.
a lot of them do have their own unique animations for
Yep.
the unique attacks. So that's awesome. Like I really like appreciate the level of like effort that they went into getting those kind of stuff, because it's just a little thing, but it shows you a level of care and effort that they're putting into the game.
That honestly, that's something that you don't see with Pokemon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, like, I don't know, maybe we're knocking too hard on Pokemon. We're not a Pokemon channel, but as somebody that grew up with Pokemon, I've just been really disappointed as like how far they come so far comparing to other series like Shin Megami Tensei or anything. So,
Because they
uh,
clearly don't
Yeah.
have the same budget either. Like you put
mhm.
SMT5 next to Pokemon, you're like, wow, clearly SMT has the bigger budget, but it's not the case. Far from it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They have so much money in their AAA studio. It's like, come on. Like, how? How's that happening? I don't know. It's so strange. I don't, I think, I don't know if it's direction that they're missing, because I think people wanted the Pearl and Diamond remakes, which from what we can see, they look alright, but I think people want an open world Pokemon game forever. So Arceus, I think, is supposed to be the answer to that question, but I don't know. I sometimes wonder if it's like a little too late sometimes, maybe on their end. And
yeah.
people wanted a Pokemon Snap as well, and they did that.
Uh,
And people
um,
loved that,
I,
though.
I
That
don't
didn't
know.
do too well though.
Yeah.
Pokemon Snap. It's not
Yeah.
bad, but in terms of a Pokemon game, it sold like just a little bit over 2 million copies, if I'm not mistaken, which is
Yeah.
great. But for Pokemon, it's not that great.
That's what I'm saying. Maybe it's a little too late sometimes on
Yeah.
their end. And like Sword and
Yeah,
Shield's like a
yeah.
weird mix of like it's kind of open world, kind of not. It's like maybe you should have just went full on either way. Just sort of doing it randomly is kind of, I don't know. I think it was a weird mix, but who cares? We got
Yeah,
SMT5. What's the matter?
Exactly.
yeah. Who cares about that? SMT5 is
We'll figure it
fantastic.
out.
So SMT5
Yo, Fox, thank you so much for the
years making.
donation.
I
Throws
don't
money
know
at you,
about
Nuzlocke. Fuck yeah,
5 years making
Fox.
SMT5, but
I will do the Pokemon
it's
Pearl, and
certainly
I will do the Nuzlocke if you put hashtag Nuzlocke in your donation or anything like that. I will put that money towards buying the Pokemon game and getting the Nuzlocke. So we'll do a Nuzlocke if we get donations and stuff for that. But thank you so much, Fox. I appreciate that. You're the freaking best. Any memberships as well. If you put hashtag Nuzlocke in there, I also will put that towards doing the Nuzlocke. I have hopes for the Diamond and Pearl remake. We'll see what happens, but thank you so much for that, Fox.
Shin Megami Tensei, because I'm like,
You're the best.
there are different markets. I mean, I don't think the same people that are playing Pokemon and playing Shin Megami Tensei.
I also feel bad for the
because it's marketed towards different
spooky,
people.
To be honest.
A bunch
really
of children are gonna play Pokemon.
They deserve better, to
and
be
I
honest.
don't know
for how long
many
we've been sticking
children
with
are gonna play
Pokemon,
Shin Megami Tensei
we deserve
5,
better, I think.
but I don't think it's gonna be the same amount of people.
Definitely not.
Yeah, and I'm not calling Pokemon fans children. I'm just, I mean, there's a kids show that airs on TV, so I'm assuming like a good chunk of the fans are children. So I'm just kind of thinking of from that regard. So yeah. Sorry, what was that, Rising? I think I cut you off there?
No, you're good. I was just agreeing with you.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought I interrupted you for some reason. Sorry about that. But going towards the comment here, because there's been some comments and I missed the comments. I tried to reply to them with the chat and everything. The casual mainstream market will be buying Pokemon. Yeah, I mean it's just what it is. You know, a lot of people know Pokemon. Pokemon is like Pikachu is the national pet of like Japan. So like there's definitely a difference in like our market and everything. So yeah, I wasn't really too worried about that. They're very different people and markets and let's face it.
Streamers doing Nuzlocks.
Yeah, so I don't know. It's different stuff. But Shin Megami Tensei 5, right? We're back on the SMT5 talk here.
Yeah, someone in my chat said for anyone going to try Nuzlocke restrictions and thinking of doing a permadeath, that'd be interesting. I mean, you guys have played it. Do you think there's room for Nuzlocks on SMT5? Or do you think it'd be too hard?
It probably in a new game plus, or like later in the story. I don't know. The thing is, I'll have to really think about it because you will definitely suffer a lot more in. First of all, is you have less people. You know, in Pokemon you have 6 Pokemons, right? Actually, no.
Yeah.
In SMT you have more. In at any given time, you'll probably have about 10 demons, probably more than that. So I don't know. I'll have to think about it. I never really tried to make one of those on Shin Megami Tensei. David, have you tried to do that on Shin Megami Tensei?
I don't know what a Nuzlocke is. I know it's something that they do with Pokemon games, but I don't know what that is. You'd have to clarify. Sorry.
Well, there's sometimes different rules. Like, someone in my chat said permadeath. Basically, if you die, you restart your game.
Oh.
Yeah. So it's not always about, like, what demons you get. Like, sometimes it's about other things.
If you die, the main protagonist dies?
Yeah, I think. Or sometimes if your demons die. I think it depends.
Oh, no.
Like,
yeah, I mean, no, because you will definitely die in the game. It's just you're bound to die in that game. Although there is an item in the game that will revive you when you die. But I don't know. I don't think so. I don't know if I will be okay with that.
Well, it's supposed to be like really challenging. That's the point, I think.
Yeah, no. I guess that's the point of being the challenging. But I don't know if it will be even possible. Because there are attacks in the game that penetrate. Even if you have a defense, let's say that you have a defense, or even reflecting that particular thing, there are attacks that will penetrate no matter what. So you guys will see when you play the game. Why I don't think I don't know. It will be somebody's gonna have to do one of those challenge videos where they like, one of those things with the game or something like that. I'll have to see it because I don't know if you have to know the game like the back of your hand. It's definitely not gonna be the first try.
Maybe easier Nuzlocks. Like Purple said, maybe a run with only recruited demons, no fusions. I've seen like no fusion runs.
That's easy. Yeah, you can do that. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, you can do that. The thing about it is in the game there's something called essence. And you can give them any attacks that you want. to
That's a
any demon, including yourself,
that's a
That sounds
freaking
and you
rough.
can
awesome
break the
mechanic.
game. Yeah, it's one of the best mechanics they implemented in the game. Ultimate, no, it's not pierced. It is not almighty. It's something else. There are attacks that penetrate through everything, no matter what. Even if you're defending or guarding, or if you have a defense or anything like that. So, no, not any of that. Um, well, shit, I forgot now what it's called. But yeah.
Essence?
No, well, with the essence stuff, you basically can add any attacks to any demon
Yeah,
as
yeah.
long as you have the essence of that demon. And for me, for example, I had a Yoshitsune that you get about like level 50, and I kept that demon all the way up until the end of the game, and he was a beast. I mean, I got him. His stats are like pretty good. Like I just kept him with me for the entire of the game, and he was doing like 300 400 damage on his weakest attack. um so yeah,
Yeah, he
i
has a
i i
special
put
move that is crazy powerful. I know exactly what you're talking about. I didn't keep him, but I can see him being like super powerful if you kept him for a long time.
yeah. So like in that end, a nozzle what is it called again, Bryson? Nos no no Nosok no what is it called, what did you
Huh?
say it's called? The
Essence?
nozzle, whatever, the Pokemon
Nuzlocke.
thing, the
Nuzlocke, yeah,
Nuzlocke,
yeah.
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
my
I
bad. I didn't
like,
know what you're
I
talking
don't know
about.
what
I'm so
the hell it's
confused
called. Yeah,
because you're talking about mechanics I haven't seen in SMT
yeah,
yet.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
Nuzlocke.
I think that's possible. It's very possible, that one, because again, you can add any attacks to any demon in the game.
Okay. Well, then, yeah, I guess a Nuzlocke run you'd have to set it up, I guess, in a way that would work for SMT, I guess. Because like you can't just take what's in Pokemon. It doesn't work exactly, I guess. Or you'd have to set it up differently, I guess.
Yeah. I
I
guess
guess they're
more
just
again.
challenge runs.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, challenge runs. It'll be cool to see if people start doing those challenge runs. Like I know I saw someone.
I
What's
think
his name? I
Gnarly.
forgot his name. Gnarly, yeah. Gnarly was saying that he was gonna do a run like that, and I was like, yeah, that sounds like it's
Hmm.
gonna be pretty easy. You're really gonna have to come up with something to make it more difficult because, like I said, no fusion run is easy, 100% easy. There's
Especially with the
so many
essence.
demons. Yeah,
Yeah,
especially with the essence. You have to make it so that you cannot use essence or items because I think you can do an item only run too, where you only do items because the items in this game are some of the most broken shit I ever seen. Especially the dampers. You know what I'm talking about, David?
yeah. Dampeners.
Yeah, yeah. Those do a lot. So yeah, I'd be
I
curious.
think I saw
I'm
you.
interested.
I think you showed me the dampeners,
What
which
was
is an
that?
interesting mechanic. The dampeners. That's an interesting mechanic. I think you showed me, right? That's like an item that you use on the enemy, right?
Yeah. So
That you
basically,
use on your stuff.
Oh, use on
yeah, you
yourself.
use on yourself on your party. Yeah, you use on your party. So basically, they attack you, and basically it cancels that attack for that particular element. The thing is that they broke down everything by element. So instead of just doing like a uh, a magic force or a magic mirror or whatever, it just canceled that particular attack for that particular thing. So
Hmm.
it just really depends. You really gotta think about like when to use it because the enemy will also like do some pretty scummy shit too. So no worries. Even though they added some interesting mechanics and items, he's off leveled by what the enemy does too. So don't think that it's just as easy as just like, oh, I'm gonna use a dampener and like it really just saves your ass maybe like once or twice. But yeah, it's so don't worry. The game isn't super easy or anything like that. You will definitely get your ass kicked at
Good
some
challenge is
point.
all I want. Someone
Yeah,
says the
yeah.
guy in the trailer in the police uniform Raidu. I don't think it is, man.
No, he
No.
isn't. But he's a cool dude. I actually do like the story and the character design. I always been a fan of like that design with the hat and everything.
Yeah, Spooky, he has done stuff like that. I have a podcast I have done on here with him where I asked him
Yeah.
stuff about that, so you can check
I'm
that out.
sorry. I'm trying to read the comments here. Says they
Okay.
broke the difficulty on Merciless. Oh, on Persona 5 Royal. Yeah, Persona 5 Royal, they really broke the difficulty of the game. They just kind of messed up there, I guess. I don't know. The balancing wasn't good. Wonder if
Hmm.
Demifin will insta kill you like in DDS if you know everything.
I know he gets
Probably.
5 turns, doesn't he? He gets 5 turns, don't he?
He gets 5 turns. Oh, you're fucked.
I think he
There-
can,
there's
yeah. It showed that in the trailer for him.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
fucked.
Yeah,
Crazy,
the,
man.
the more turns they get, or even not that, but like I said, there are attacks that can penetrate to everything, no matter what. So, and they do criticals and like critical no matter what. So it's cool when you do it, but but when the opponent does it, you're fucked because if he hits you once and then he hits you with a critical, he already gets a press turn.
Dude.
And
Yeah.
he does the repeated attack. He can continuously hit you criticals. He will get a press turn every time he hits you critical. So he will get 10 turns basically. If let's say like if he were to hit a critical every single time that he hits you, of course with your speed and
Well,
everything, it's probably not feasible.
from what I understand, he's supposed to be a post-game boss because the other DLCs, they're midway bosses, and I think Artemis is like a sort of end-game boss, but they said through all the DLCs that none of them are post-game bosses, but like Demifine is supposed to be an end-game boss that you fight, so he's not supposed to be easy by like any means, because you're supposed to also get the fiends. You get the fiends alongside while you play the game, and then at the very end, like post-game, you fight him. So like he's
really?
supposed to be the like big challenge, I guess. Yeah, the big post-game
Okay.
challenge, which
I
I'm kind of
really
looking
wanna
forward to
fight
be
it.
honest.
Yeah, now you're talking me into buying the DLC.
That's what I'm saying. At least that one. At least just that one. Like the SMT3 one looks really cool. I can't remember what it's called. Return of the True Demon King. I
It's
think is what it's
something
called.
like that, yeah. I think it's just Return of the True Demon or something.
Yeah. Which
Yeah.
I think is worth it. It's $1 for a fiend in a boss fight. That seems like decent. $5 for
because
one.
you
No.
do fight all of the
All the fiends, yeah.
all the fiends, right? So yeah, I guess that's a good
Throughout
deal.
the
Yeah.
game, like throughout it, like you do in SMT3. You fight them as you go along SMT5.
Do you really?
Yeah. Yeah. Go look at my DLC video. Plug. Go look at my DLC video.
I was under the impression that it was just a boss rush when you
Mm-mm.
fought all the bosses. Oh, that would have been even better. I would be down if it was a boss rush. I would have been so down for that. Can you imagine doing all the fiends back to back?
That would be nuts, bro. You can get them all too. You can get all of them. You can't get Demi-Fiend though, but you can get the rest of them.
Yeah.
Get my boy
you get
Daisoju back. Ooh.
You get the essence of Demi-Fiend, so technically you are Demi-Fiend because you can get his moveset. One thing.
We're recruiting
this
him,
one
I
will
mean.
be a freebie advice. Dump your points on physical because I learned the
I don't want to
hard
hear
way
that.
yeah.
I don't want to be stuck in a physical build. I love magic too much.
I like magic too. That's actually my favorite. I always dump into magic, but half the way through the game, I realized that a physical run is a lot like better than a magic run. But I guess that's the big debate. People always debate on that. It says in the DLC description that it's recommended if you fight them in post game. Oh, okay, Ultimate. Thank you so much for that.
Yep. Post game fight, which is
I mean,
weird. What do you mean by post game? I guess I don't know.
I mean, it's in terms of difficulty, so you can fight them whenever, but Demi-Fiend would be post-game type of content because of the difficulty.
Does that mean you could beat the story and then just chill? That's what I mean.
That's what I'm
No,
getting from
you
this.
can't. You don't chill after the game is over.
No, well, no, but you get the like you probably need to save after like a final boss or something. The game saves at that
Right.
point. That's what I mean.
Kind of like Sephiroth, I guess, in Kingdom Hearts. Like you get them right at the end, and then they're just like, you can come back to this whenever. You save right before the final boss.
I don't actually know. It's probably gonna be like some of the other secret bosses, where you can do them right before you finish the game. Because there is a point in the game where you're locked into the narrative. That you can still go and do things, but you're pretty much locked into one thing.
Maybe it's
so
something
it
you
may
pull
just
up in
be
like a save spot or something, and you teleport. I don't know.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't know how the DLC
You
is
have
gonna be.
plenty. You have plenty of safe spots. There's definitely
I'm
plenty.
saying
of
like
that
maybe
stuff.
the DLC demon fights are like there or something. I think it said something about you go to it's Sophia, right? She's the person you fuse demons with.
Mhm.
I think it said you go to her to activate some of these DLC boss fights. So I think
Yeah.
that's where you might just have the Demi Fiend fight just like kind of like always there, but you know, anytime you just get to a save point, that's when you can activate it. And whenever you feel ready, that's just when you can start the fight. I think that's what it said.
Okay.
On the
Well, I guess we'll
descriptions.
find out in 2 days, right?
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, I guess we'll figure that out. We'll know then. Is Dante from
we'll
DNC in
find
the
out about them.
game? No, Dante's not in it.
No, why will he
That'd
be on
be.
it? It's a different game.
I don't know. Someone has. I figured he's not
Oh,
in it. I
wait.
mean,
But technically, he is a fiend, right? So he should be in the
I mean,
in the game.
they could hit up Capcom. I mean, why not?
Yeah, like, why not? We'll pay another $10.
Right? Yeah.
Just kidding, Capcom. We're not paying you more money for this.
They wouldn't even give it to you for free in
to,
SMT3, so you better believe it's a DLC.
to this day, I still just feel like it should have been free on Nocturne.
Yeah, should have been.
Yeah. I mean, it was free in the original game.
Someone asked me, guys, are the Makatsui skills race-based? Hey, is that spoiler territory? I don't know.
You're going to be answering these questions.
Yeah, don't answer if you don't want
to. Yeah, no more questions, guys. Well, I'll do. No, actually, David said that he will do a Q&A on Friday. Is that right, David?
Yes, that's correct.
Yeah,
on Friday.
Or by for David's video, he will do a Q&A. He'll answer all your questions if you have anything for all that stuff. Yo, the Persona Without a Heart stream, how epic!
Love it.
Oh man. Yeah. Oof. More. Give me more of that Persona Without a Heart. Honestly, that's such an. It's gonna be the next. You know how I was talking about earlier with the Dark Souls of Persona. That's just gonna be the next thing.
Oh,
Probably.
yeah.
People are gonna be doing that, saying that all the time now.
To be honest, it's kind of a badass title though. Persona Without the Heart. That's kind of a badass sounding game, dude. I can't lie.
I think it was meant to be like decent on the game, but it cracks me up. That's just what it is. It's just funny.
That also just makes no sense either. Like, what's it supposed to mean?
Yeah, what is it supposed to mean? Yeah, that was my question the first time that I heard it. I'm like, what is that supposed to mean? Like,
you're killing demons.
They stalled the heart. They steal his demons. He says.
You're killing demons and going to like hell and stuff. I don't think it's supposed to have a lot of heart in there, you know? I don't know.
Yeah, there's not a lot of heart going on in the netherworld. Yeah, I don't know, man. It's people are funny. Reviewers are funny. I don't think they understand Shin Megami Tensei. Not that I think it's like this really hard thing to understand or anything like that. But I think it's definitely like something that I mean, like don't know how to approach it correctly, like review wise or
Right.
something.
It's good that it's at least getting attention. It's not good attention, but at least
Yeah, it's
these
attention.
games are being talked about. It trended on Twitter, at least, right?
It's trended on Twitter, but yeah, I don't know. The reception about this thing was also kind of weird because they were painting Shin Megami Tensei fans as like they were upset about the reviews. Nobody gave a shit about the reviews for once of all. I just want to point it out.
That's kind of
I
what I
don't
was
think anybody
saying.
was like, "Oh my god, the reviews were bad." No, nobody cared about the reviews. We knew the game was gonna review good to an extent, right? But like, I think we were just it was more like the phrasing of like the Dark Souls of Persona, or like the Persona without a heart, that kind of shit. Yeah, that's kind of like what people were mad
Yeah.
about. I don't think they really care about the other stuff.
I mean,
Uh,
people
oh,
said,
Elden Ring.
"Oh yeah,
Sorry about that. Go ahead.
Elden Ring got
Yeah,
a Dark Souls 4." I mean, Elden Ring's
double
different.
shooter. Speaking of Dark Souls, Elden Ring. Oh man, Elden Ring just looks like it's gonna slap as a game. I'm really hyped for that. That's gonna be the Dark Souls of Dark Souls.
Definitely, bro. People said SMT3 was like the dark, like before SMT5 came out, like SMT3 is the Dark Souls like Meg 10 games. I was like, I played that game and died maybe twice. It was not that hard. I don't know. I think I think just because it says SMT, some people are like, it's gonna be harder. I mean, it's not always the case. You can definitely crack Demi Fiend and SMT3 and just run through that game. The hardest thing about that might be the puzzles that you get hung up on. Those games
Well,
surpass
this
Nocturne
game
and Strange
has
Journey.
Nocturne Strange Journey. Uh, in terms of sales, or in terms of like story wise, or I
I
guess
think
it
it means
just
in terms of
depends
sales.
on because if sales, yeah, definitely. I think this is gonna be the best selling Shin Megami Tensei game.
Oh,
Instead of
100%.
in case of story, it's just it's gonna be debatable. I think this game is gonna be one of those games that people are gonna kind of be divided on as far as like whether they like it more than other games or something. But I think it's a great game. I really do.
I think just
You,
in terms of JRPGs, I think it's gonna be up there, right? It's just I know Alice is already pretty good at JRPGs to begin with. And I
yeah,
think they have
yeah.
some of the best ever. But
Mhm.
I don't know. I think this game has been something they've been sitting on for a long time. They've definitely been, you know, building this up for quite a while. I think this is exactly what people are wanting. Like I said, it wasn't a lot about this that I've seen so far that was surprising. It was kind of exactly what I thought in some regards, and I like that. And I think they're really trying to go for that with the fans. So like, if you love SMT, I feel like this game is definitely going to be, at least from what I can tell and what I've heard from you
Yeah,
guys, right up that
I do think
alley.
there's a lot of people that are new into like Shin Megami Tensei and everything, so they are very like eager to get into Shin Megami Tensei, and this is kind of gonna be their first game. So I've seen a lot of people that have been telling me, even on the chats, I've been reading the comments. A lot of people that are like literally just playing SMT as like their first game, SMT5. So I'll be curious to see like what their perspective is too. Which don't get me wrong, I see that there is a conversation to be had as far as like Persona fans playing Shin Megami Tensei for the first time. So like I am interested on that perspective, and I'm curious to hear like people's thoughts and everything. But
Hmm.
I don't know. I think the conversation has been fairly interesting here. Oh
That'll always
man.
be an ongoing conversation, to be honest. Too,
Yeah,
they're
yeah.
so pitted against each other. It's like at this point, it's just a ongoing thing, but it's whatever. The Devil Shooter said P5 will increase. Uh, I think they said best sales,
Sales.
but I think P5 will increase sales. I think it probably will too when this releases.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. I just think that more people are becoming fans over time and everything. So, like more people are gonna be interested in Shin Megami Tensei as a whole and everything. So, I welcome all
100%.
the fans. I think that we're all seen on the same spot. Like I welcome all the fans, all the people that are
Absolutely.
brand new, starting with Persona 5 or whatever. Yeah, I mean, welcome in. Like, I know there is a little bit of discussion as far as like Persona fans or whatever, but like, to me, a fan is a fan. Like, I don't think one of them is like better than another fan or whatever. Sure, some fans may be pretty annoying, but that goes for like everybody. I think that's just not just Persona fans, but in general.
Yeah.
But
I
I
mean,
yeah.
you're gonna have the game that you came in on, right? There's always gonna be a nostalgia factor for certain games too. That just gives you hate, you know. I think a lot of people just came in during P5, so it's just like they're an easy target, you know. They're new.
The
It's the
the
new
other
game.
news, and I remember when I started with Persona 3, that was the same thing back then too. Like people were like the exact same scenario, just with Persona 3. Like, oh, you're a fan of Persona 3 or whatever. So like, even back in the day, it was the exact same conversation. So, uh,
Yeah, and like
I
Pokemon,
mean,
I hate
it's
to bring up Pokemon
yeah,
again, but like whatever gen you started in, like I love Heart Gold, but people apparently hate that. I didn't know. It's
yeah,
interesting.
yeah. They're just different games. Well, that's what I loved about Shin Megami Tensei because every game is bigger than the last game.
Yeah,
They build up into it, and they add more to it and everything. So they definitely do all cool stuff with it. I just love how much they work on these games. You can tell these games are quality. Like no matter what game you play, whether it's Catherine or Persona whatever or Shin Megami Tensei, they all have like a quality to the games. I never played a game that I'm like, oh man, this game just doesn't work for me. Like I just, as a whole, I just enjoy them.
I think there's
All
also
right.
something for everybody to love. There's a title there for everyone. I mean,
Yeah, yeah,
more
yeah. But I mean, like,
visual novel. You know, you got Persona if you want more combat
yeah,
and less story. You got Shin Megami Tensei. You know, there's a little something there for everyone. But
yeah, 100%.
yeah,
Okay, well, thank you everybody for dropping by in this kind of release date party. Just talking about Shin Megami Tensei and the release of the game. Obviously, comes out in a couple days here. Check Rising's channel and of course David's channel in the description. And again, thank you everybody for dropping by and chatting with us today.
Thanks for having me on, guys. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks,
absolutely,
David. I
man.
appreciate it, man.
Absolutely. Yeah, and thanks for having me on as well and coming on to my podcast and everything. Appreciate you guys being here. Let's look forward to SMT5 releasing Friday if we get it in time. But yeah,
Yeah, yeah. All right, see you guys. Bye bye.
Bye.
bye everyone.